Where's my headset?
I don't know.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you just had one on, but you didn't.
No. Russ Clark with you on a Thursday. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Chris Larson's here, man.
I'm
Good
here.
to see you.
Good seeing you.
Haven't
Good
seen you
being here.
since the Republican meeting.
That was a good meeting.
It really was.
Got to hear from Michael Carbone.
Well, and you actually
And me.
spoke. You
Yeah.
got up, talked about why we should vote for Chris. You're the guy. You actually had some good points and went through a lot of details on things you believe in.
You seem surprised that I had some good points.
Yeah, I did. When I was looking for things to introduce you as, I said, yeah, here's Chris. You know him. He cuts his own grass and everything.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't have grass, but when people come from out of town, a lot of time we'll have them speak first. They can hit the road and get home.
Yeah,
so that's what I was expecting.
Right.
So when you started with he was a teacher, I was like, I didn't know Michael Carbone.
Oh, you thought I was introducing Michael Carbone?
And then he started going into some other stuff. I was like, oh, wait, he's talking about me. I'm going up first. Okay. And I was actually worried before that I was going to have to follow Michael Carbone. I was like, oh, man.
Made him worry about following you now. Okay, what were your points real quick on why you need to be?
I have, we need to focus on education before graduation. Because a lot of people are graduating without being educated. And if we do it the other way around, they'll still graduate, but they'll be educated first. So that's my first point. We need to hold the students accountable for their decisions and their actions, which is not just about discipline, but it gives them the idea that they're in control of their consequences in their future.
And Gilbert was hoping you were talking about the Board of Justice. And to him, a Board of Justice or Board of Education, I'm sorry.
Right.
Board of Education is a paddle with holes in it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
that's
met
old.
that.
He's old school.
So am I. I met that board a couple of times in my life. But and then the third one is we have far more administrators than we need. We're pretty top heavy, so we can shift the focus to the educators.
I've seen that happen a lot in the last 20 years. And I think honestly, a lot of it is just the legislators keep putting more load of reporting and stuff.
Yeah, and
what they did, they're doing, they're taking money out of the classroom every time, and then now we've got that referendum or that for a proposition that's going to be on the ballot that you're required to spend 60%. Yeah. Well, how can you do that and still meet all the requirements that these guys are giving you? Yeah. Well, see, and they've balled it up so much with so many rules, regulations, for everybody throughout the whole state, and everybody's a little different, but everybody gets the same rules. That's why ESA is so much fun for me. If I was involved, I want to be ESA, where it's like teach the kids. That's it.
Yeah.
Teach the kids.
It goes directly to the students.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and the 60% that proposition is a great goal. Not going to dispute that at all. Great goal, but the finances of a school district have a lot of variables involved, and limiting them by law can make things incredibly difficult for a school district to meet all their needs.
I don't disagree. I think they should just cut out all the nonsense and tell the superintendents, let's see what you got.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. And that's the way it can be done. And the boards have control over the budget, and they can say, we're not going to pay for this many administrators. So you got to figure out a way to make it work with fewer administrators. And that's what they
give the superintendents a bonus if they spend less.
And it's just like, with Doge, and I've said it a few times, when things get routine, problems build up and you don't really notice it.
Yeah.
And then you got to rip the Band-Aid off and do a reset. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, you identify the specific areas that, something's missing and you can address those. But just hitting it hard is the way to go. So in that sense, maybe that 60% law is a good idea. We can adjust it later.
If you read that bill,
yeah,
it's only 60% for counties over 500,000. Won't even affect us. It's really aimed at Maricopa and Tucson. That's it.
Everything should be targeting America.
It's targeting. I mean, I think it was some gamemanship myself.
Yeah.
On that. Yeah. Because a lot of there's a lot of conversation to kill ESA totally all the time because we've got a governor that hates ESA.
Yep. I don't understand why people are opposed to it, but
well, it's money. They pro teachers union, and the teachers union don't want competition.
Yep.
And they say, well, every dollar spent out, you're stealing from public. Like they own 50% of our whole budget. The school system owns 50% of our own budget. No, they don't. The money goes to the kids. That's what Doug Ducey beat in us, and I liked it. Yeah, and he said, look, the money goes in the backpack on the kid, and whatever school they go to, that's where the money goes. Period.
Yeah, and
it's the same amount of money. It's not.
It's actually more money in the public school system per child.
Yeah.
Because the ESA kids don't get as much as the public school kids, so the leftover goes back into the public school.
Well,
but it is less per district. I admit to that. But it's not just ESA money that's causing that. We're having a huge issue with people just aren't having as many kids. All of the
stop building schools.
Well, yeah, there's schools with empty rooms all over Arizona. We have schools have a surplus of funds that they're not they just have nothing to do with.
Sweep the funds back to the state.
Well, yeah, and that's what they're trying to say with the ESA money, that you can save up the ESA money and use it for bigger things.
No.
But I lost track of where I was going.
Yep.
But the schools
empties.
Yeah, all of the predictive numbers and systems that our schools are based on, and the growth potentials are based on our old birthing habits, old population growth habits, that are just not happening anymore. People are having children later. They're having fewer children, and that's having an impact on how many kids are in our schools. And it started a few years back. Kindergartens were smaller, and they're like, that's weird.
No,
and then they
kids.
stayed smaller, and they're like, hey, it's not coming back up again. Over time, it usually averages out, and it didn't come up again. And now they're like, oh, we don't have as many students as we used to have. So
but we want our budgets to go up.
Less money.
So hire another superintendent or an assistant superintendent.
Yeah.
So
those are the issues that I think we can address. And there's other ones, but those I think are the bigger ones that are holding us back from our true potential.
Some of the areas that spend the most on school get the worst results, like Chicago, New York. They're horrible. Teacher salary average 100,000 a year or something.
Right.
And they're not getting what they want. Of course, I love it when people say, we need to pay more so we get some good teachers. That's telling everybody out there, if you're teaching, you're not good.
Right. Yeah. And
it's not the case.
That's not the case at all.
No,
the teachers, when teachers go into the profession, they know they're not getting paid a lot.
I know so many that are frustrated though.
Yeah. Because, it is frustrating. But
because of lack of discipline.
Yeah.
Of the kids, lack of control.
Yeah. Lack of support from the administration.
Lack of support, and too many fundamentals that are locked in they don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the DEI stuff and all that crazy stuff.
Right.
I got to where teachers wouldn't even talk to me.
Well, might just be
because they was afraid of being afraid of being singled out, like you did something you shouldn't do. And
and some teachers are a little paranoid. I was talking to one of them that we hung out all the time, and we were talking in the hallway about something, and it started turning in a direction he was uncomfortable with, and so he stopped me, and he looked up at the security cameras. He put his finger up, shh, and we went into a classroom. He says, they have microphones in the cameras. I was like, no, they don't. He says, I think they do.
I think they probably.
And he was worried about being heard. And that's just not cool.
I've got neighbors that are
United
teachers
States,
that won't
complain.
They're careful. They won't talk. I know. And over the years, I've always had teachers talking to me about what's going on, and I
Mhm.
visited schools and all that. Now it's like they clam up.
Mm.
They don't want to lose their job, man.
Right.
Uh, and I mentioned that I had the superintendent for the Yuma High School in, and I told him that.
Brianza.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he said something like, "Well, we've got suggestion boxes and everything. And everybody talks to me. They tell me everything." And I said, "They're not. They're not."
Yeah.
You know, I
Um,
had those girls from Yuma High that came in and told me about the boys in the girls' room.
right.
And I called Yuma High and they said, "It doesn't happen, doesn't happen." I mean, they all lied to me. They knew. They just wanted to keep it all secret.
Yeah, and I don't know how real that is. I do know there's always some individuals that are going to hold a grudge or something like that. I don't know if it's systemic to the district, but once one person exists that holds a grudge, then it makes you worried
Yeah.
about everybody. But the problems that I talk about, the education for graduation, accountability, and administrators, it's not unique to Yuma Union. This is the way it is
Yep.
everywhere.
You're
So I don't
exactly
want to tell anyone
exactly
get the
right.
idea I'm
It
bagging on Yuma Union.
it exists in the industry,
Yeah. And it's
but
been that way
there's
for a long
places where
time.
you get good people on the board
Hmm.
that stuff goes away. Look what happened to the elementary school when
Yeah, when Ibarra
Jeff
and
and
Jeff.
Deborah and all the
Yeah.
guys got on.
Yeah.
The superintendent said, "Yeah, time for me to resign."
Yeah, he did.
He
He didn't even
retired.
wait for them to
No,
to
man,
get
I'm
seated.
done.
Yeah, yeah. And
Soon
that's
as
not to say that
soon as that election happened.
yeah, it's not to say Keith Wares isn't a part of it, but he was there by himself.
Yeah.
Once he got
Well, they got a
assistance,
majority.
once he got the help of Ibarra and
And-
Stoner,
and things
things
have actually
changed.
done well. With, I mean, they're working on. I mean, the board wants to support teachers.
Mhm.
Parents getting engaged, and I think communication's opening up. Policies are better.
I'm hearing
And
good
that-
things about
I'm hearing
it, so,
good
yeah.
things. I'm hearing good things. That's what a board can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been here long enough. I've talked to superintendents and stuff too, and people on boards. And years ago, nobody would run for the board.
No, yeah.
And Mel
They
Schoening
would
was
have to
Mel Schoening
appoint
was on the
people.
board many times
Yeah.
because he wanted to do something else. So he said, "I'm not going to run this year." And it come down to day to vote. Nobody would put up their name, so he wrote his name in. He did a write in at the last minute to get so somebody was there.
Right.
But then superintendents will like get neighbors and friends to run,
Mhm.
so they're buddies with who's on the board. And that's not good.
Right.
You want objective people.
Yeah.
You don't want bomb throwers either, or radicals of any kind.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Centric
radical is.
is-
You want people to have the interest of the kids.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty basic.
Yeah, quite often the superintendent, the county superintendent, will have to appoint somebody
Yeah.
because
Nobody's running.
nobody ran.
Yeah.
Last election cycle, everyone was concerned about the trans issue, and 9 people were running.
Yeah.
For 3
And they
seats.
spent a ton of money.
Yeah, yeah, and we, the incumbents got elected.
Yeah.
Nothing changed out after all that. I do like this cycle because Trump took care of that with his executive order. We still have to prepare in case.
There's still a lot of
But-
closet stuff.
yeah.
Some names have been changed, but not all policies have been
But-
scrubbed. And you can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know about our school, but you see it in a lot of government agencies, and they're still discovering every day that we've got problems in universities, problems all over the place.
But at least at this level, we can talk about actual education.
Yeah.
And because that's why I wanted to get on the board in the first place. And last cycle, I was like, if people are running just on that issue and it's fixed right away with one policy, now what are you going to do? You got a 4-year
Well,
term, but there's the
Look.
things I want to focus on are going to be long term. So I'm glad that this cycle is different.
Jeff and David ran on that issue and everything. I mean,
And
they
he
really
was.
care
They
about
had
the
other
kids.
things too.
And
Yeah.
Dave was a officer for the school, one of the security officers for many years.
Mhm.
And Stoner was engaged in schools always.
Yep.
He's done a lot of
He's a
volunteer
great
work
guy.
and all stuff.
Yeah.
He's
He's doing
great
charity
guy.
stuff on all the
But the
time.
but the superintendent were scared. But what they got is guys that are work hard
Yeah.
for the kids, pay attention,
and paying attention and asking questions.
Yeah.
and
and
proposing
they don't
ideas.
have any outrageous.
You don't
stuff
always
to
get that on the school board. You get people that are just well, I thought it would be cool, or they show
Well,
up at the once a month meeting,
well,
and
they go
that's
there to
it.
learn more, but yeah. And superintendents love that because then they just run
Right.
their agenda.
Right.
They kind of direct everything,
Yep.
which most of our superintendents have the right
Hey, if
drive
if
anyway. But
yeah,
people can get lazy,
yeah.
and a good board will keep you on task. They can. I'm going to talk about nuclear reactors again.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty excited about these micro reactors.
They are a great idea, I think.
Well,
I'm looking forward to
there's
them
10 companies right
taking
now
over.
that are building them. I mean, just building them right now.
Mhm.
Some of them already have prototypes working. They're already getting contracts. In fact, there's already contracts for some centers, some data centers. I think there's 7 data centers that have contracts with these micro reactors. And when they buy them, they're buying reactors that can give a huge amount more electricity than what they need, and
Yeah.
it'll go to the local area, whatever.
And I think that's exactly what people should be shooting for when they make the
Yeah,
contracts with these
but
data
I'm glad
centers.
they can take that right off the table,
Right.
like because there is that issue that the power companies cannot supply these. Some of these data centers take a lot of electricity, and it's not like they have that extra capacity. It's about capacity, because they have to plan. A power company plans for the maximum, worst, hottest, coldest day, whatever it is, whatever's
Right.
your biggest draw for whatever that peak hour is. They got to plan for that hour, that day, and that's their minimum of having power
Right.
available. Even if the rest of the year they're only 60% of it, they got to plan for the peaks.
And that's for now. And then they also have to plan for population growth
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
future.
And then you
And
throw
so
one
they're
of those big
constantly
data centers
building.
in there. That could be
Jumps it dramatically.
that could be a problem.
Yeah.
That and I like Trump that he put out there that at a certain size you have to supply your own.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, I don't
And
think
I think there's so much money floating through anything to do with the internet.
the data centers
They
just want to build
they
them,
can do it. Yeah.
and they're going to pay
It's
for the
worth it
power
for 'em.
anyway. It's probably
Yeah.
in the long run going to be cheaper for them to own the
I agree.
power.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Especially a nuclear power plant, because once it's built, you've got power for
the nuclear power
decades.
plant that I've seen would fit in this room, no problem.
That's
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
One of them is a Westinghouse one. It's about the size of like a wash machine. Now there's some other equipment with
Yeah.
it.
Everything
That's not,
around it. But
yeah, there's some other things around it, some other deals, but that's it. But here we got the U.S. Army has already contracted for 5 of them.
And I read the headline there while we were leading up to it. Yeah.
For 5.
We should have military bases that can be independent.
Trump
as far as
doesn't
power
sit
is
still,
concerned.
buddy.
I think that's a
I mean,
great idea.
I think he's doing well. He's the one that as soon as he got in, he took some of the roadblocks off the nuclear.
Right.
And these companies opened up like immediately and hit the ground running. The rest of the world got ahead of us on nuclear because we stopped building them.
Well, and people were afraid of like 3 Mile Island stuff and things like that. But
You know how many people died in 3
we've
Mile
gotten
Island?
better. No, nobody.
Nobody. You know how many people got sick? Nobody. It was a
Yeah.
scare.
It was a scare, yeah.
Yeah, they had and they shut it down.
But that's how you figure out how to do it better, and we've gotten better at it. And now we're making room-sized nuclear
Oh yeah,
reactors.
that are much safer. They
Yeah.
don't operate the same.
And even if this fails, it's going to have a much
if it-
smaller impact.
No, if it fails, it shuts down.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
If it fails, the
default is closed.
It's closed.
Yeah.
Where 3 Mile Island fails, it was meltdown.
Yeah.
That's what they call the China syndrome. It came right after that movie, the China syndrome, where theoretically it just burns a hole to China, which it won't. But it won't burn a whole China.
Yeah.
But it will do bad things. Like Chernobyl. But see, Fukushima was an old style, also an old
Right.
design, and the tsunami hit. The tsunami is not what broke the reactor. Reactor could handle the tsunami. The problem was it knocked out all the power. It needs external power. It needed external power
Mm-hmm.
to operate cooling, and without cooling, it melts,
There it
and that's what happened. Right now, without power, the opposite. And a lot of the ones are doing now, power themselves. I don't know why they didn't do that. So they power themselves. at the same time. They're creating it. So I'm excited about it. But Fort Bragg, Fort Campbell, Fort Hood, Fort Benning, and Fort Drum will all have them by 2028. It's called the
Nice.
Janus program. They just announced it on Wednesday, yesterday. So North Carolina, Kentucky, Texas, Georgia, and New York. I was hoping like Yuma. It'll be great in
All
Yuma.
right.
Like we're an outlier. We're not near Palo Verde.
No.
So if nuclear react, and I need to talk to some APS engineers. If they start popping these small ones all over the place, obviously they don't have to carry large amounts over the lines.
Exactly.
But do they still have to build them as massive as if that nuclear reactor was gone? Would they say we have to build them anyway? Or do they rely on that source as being another Palo Verde and it's going to be there? So
The way
we
I
work.
understand it, because we had that massive blackout all over the desert Southwest here,
Yeah.
because all the different power sources were connected in case one went
Right.
down, the others could. So I assume that there would still be connected to all the other power sources, so that if one went down, the others could
Just-
pick up
just
the
work.
load.
But
So-
that
but those
but
are
it-
those are highly efficient wires
my
that are connecting everything.
right.
The more local
But
controls.
when they have to
would
build
still
for
be
more
good.
power, more wires have to go up.
Yeah.
So my question would be, if they bring the power down here, you still have to put more wires up, knowing that you're not going to ship as much electricity here. I'll talk to them.
Hmm.
I'll find out.
Bring them in.
But I know they're going to be connected. These will.
Yeah.
I think they will be. I don't know about these, but I know the data centers are. I mean, they're already making deals with cities. Like, hey,
Mhm.
we'll come in. We're going to bring this. We're not going to use your water. We're building outside any kind of like nuisance areas. We're not building in the downtown shopping mall. Which you've heard about the hum thing. Somebody said
Right.
there was a hum, which I'm still trying to figure out.
Well, there's a hum on desktop computers.
Yeah, but it
Take
doesn't
that
permeate
time,
2 blocks down the street outside the walls.
until you have 100,000 of them.
No, it's not going to be that loud inside. You don't see the people working in the data centers wearing earmuffs.
Right.
I'm thinking it's a hum from generators that are supplying power.
That would be interesting to discuss.
In fact, that's what Elon Musk is doing with his in Texas.
Yeah.
He's putting in gas-fired generators, some propane gas or natural gas or something. I thought it was going to be all solar.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine how much space it would take to get enough?
The building's
solar power?
huge, though. He's got enough building space. But
Yeah. No. For solar power, that takes an enormous amount
I
of
know.
ground space.
Maybe he's going to cover all the flow of Texas. We'll see. But that's under construction right now. They're already knocking down mountains and stuff to get that done. But they're combining. They expect the Army said the private sector investment also in this. You expect they expect them to invest in it also, which I don't know how.
I googled the sound issue for data centers, and it says cooling systems, high-speed fans, diesel backup generators, and electrical transformers.
So it's not
the data center itself; it's everything surrounding it.
So it's a poor design, because we have transformers. You see them out on the roads, but they're usually surrounded by concrete walls and all kinds of stuff, and you don't hear them.
Right.
But you would if you were in there.
Oh yeah,
you'd
I'm
hear
sure.
them. So somebody, and my understanding is that one of the data centers that really complains is in Virginia, and the county supervisors there gave a building permit to put it like right in the middle of a residential area or something like that. It was just not smart.
Right.
Now,
and that's what all these things come down to, is people just didn't think ahead.
Yeah.
They didn't,
and they blame it on the data center. It's not the data center.
Yeah.
Because we have to have those things.
And some of these data centers have been around for long enough that communities have grown
Decades.
around them.
Decades.
Yeah. And so then, when they put it out in the middle of nowhere, the cows didn't mind.
But
then people grew around it, and now they're complaining. And that's the same thing that we have with the MCAS is, you cannot build in certain areas because they know they're just going to start getting a bunch of complaints.
Yeah.
If people are living in that area, the sound's going to be a problem. And, so you cannot build there.
Right.
And that's just that. It's going to be farmland or whatever, but
because they don't want anybody to encroach. That's what happens. I lived in San Diego before here, and Miramar, Miramar, when they built it, it was like Yuma. It was built way away from everything.
Right.
And Yuma was like that originally. It was built way out of town. And then little by little, people grew up around it, and then they started complaining about the noise, and they start making them shut down operations at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock,
Right.
and the planes have to fly real slow, and they have to, I hope that never happens here, man. They fly out the end of that runway with afterburner. I don't care. Get it.
Right.
Sound of freedom. And if you don't like it, move to Phoenix or
just move to the other side of town.
Yeah, go somewhere else, man. That was here first, and we need to support them. Yeah. And we do. I think this town supports military huge.
Our community, our economy. We love the military here.
The Army says they're going to have more than 20 nuclear microreactors eventually across the War Department.
I can see them just popping up all over the country.
These are just the first 5 that are going to the War Department. Yeah. And this is just the Army. Now, some of these companies are building these. They said like by 28, they're going to be building 10,000 a year or something. Like,
good.
Where?
I want them everywhere.
Some of them are not that big. Some of them are like
I Googled because I was like, filling this room. I don't know. So I Googled. Yeah, they putting them on back of
F-150. They put one on an F-150.
Did they?
Yeah.
Really?
Now there's some component parts they probably didn't put with it,
right.
But the actual reactor and everything fits right in an F-150. They put them in airplanes. The whole idea is you got like these islands that are isolated.
Yeah.
They can just put a nuclear
reactor
out there.
Rural communities are always worried about,
So they're building some small ones that's only good for like 100 homes. Because there's a need in some areas for those. And then they build them for 100,000 homes. One that would fit Yuma.
100 to 1,000 times smaller than traditional nuclear power plants.
Yeah. Well, the traditional nuclear power plant, I've been to Palo Verde and I've taken a tour of it inside a reactor, while they were changing the rods. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's so surreal. And when you go in and you look at the piping and everything, it's like the piping we all recognize. It's just 10 times larger, and the bolts are as long as my arm. The nuts are as big as my head.
Yeah.
And they bolt it together. I mean, it's just wow.
Yeah. The same screws.
Same thing. Just make it bigger.
Table.
Right. Same screw you're going to get down at the hardware store, but you're not buying them that big down the hardware store. I think it would take 2 guys to lift that bolt. and it's kind of weird, man. It's kind of cool. I think we got a call from Mike. Good morning, Mike. Uh-oh.
I don't hear him.
Oh, now
there he is.
I got you, buddy. Now I had you down. How are you, man?
I'm good. That's Chris you have there?
Yeah, it's Chris Larson.
Good morning, Chris Larson.
Good morning.
Oh my God, I want to comment on the concern from what?
The microreactors? No.
No, you know what? I didn't hear the first part, so I don't know what Chris said. He said something that somebody had I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Well, first off, we were talking about some of the high schools and the high schools, having too many administrators.
The education system.
He's running for the high school board, so he has a special. Plus, he's a teacher. So yeah.
And then we were talking about the
microreactors for nuclear microreactors.
If he's in my district, he's got my vote. I'm calling about the tariff concerns and the Trump concerns.
Okay,
that was most of the conversation that was yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, it's continuing on. It's fair.
This election, the midterms, is the only people that are going to lose this election is the Republicans. It's there for us to win.
Right.
Yeah.
And 40% that took the time to register and don't vote, that's a big concern. Plus, you got the continued pounding of the low educated side of our house. Here's the law. What the media says and what the Democrat Party says, you do the opposite. You say the opposite. That is funny, but it's not.
It's a rule of thumb there. Yeah.
All these people are reacting to the abject pounding of anti-Trumpism.
Yes.
And You know, I'm going to bring in something biblical.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Gabriel, God gave Daniel a prophecy of the 770s, and Daniel was he was a great mathematician, and Daniel couldn't figure out that formula to the point where he almost went crazy. God had to send Gabriel back, and Gabriel said, "Stop it! I just told you to tell the people. It's not for you. I didn't tell you to figure it out, and you can't figure it out because things haven't happened yet that you don't know about." But he said, when man is running to and fro and knowledge is increased, that's when these things are going to happen. We are in a time when man is running to and fro and knowledge is increased. There is no excuse in this day and age to be stupid.
Well, yeah,
none. If you can read with a kindergarten education, with all that we have access to, there's no excuse.
Yep.
No excuse.
Yeah.
I get accused all of the time. They say, well, all you do is listen to. Well, yeah, that's right. You have to listen to it. You have to listen to both sides.
Yeah.
You have to listen to both sides because you have to know what the hell, what crap is coming from that side.
Yep.
And you have to listen to our side, to the intelligent side, to put things together.
Yeah.
Tariffs built this country.
Yep.
Tariffs are the reason why this country was great when it was great.
Well, it was our only taxes to begin with was tariffs. They weren't income tax or something.
Mm-hmm.
No. Tariffs see, that's wrong.
That's not wrong.
We made money on stamps and stamp acts.
Yeah, and the whiskey tax was one that was started. It's got rebellion, but but tariffs were the main form, though. That was it.
Tariffs that were used back then aren't like they're used today.
Nope.
No, they're
tariffs that are used. What's that?
Yeah, they're used differently today. Yeah.
Tariffs today are used primarily for punishment.
Well, or protection.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of countries will tariff things to protect an industry and say we don't import because we want that industry protected.
But they'll punish the person, the country that they're directed at.
Well, yeah, but in a free world and trade, yeah, go ahead and punish me, charge twice as much as the neighbor, and I'm going to buy it from someone else. And that happens. Also, you put yourself out of business in the long run. What we're seeing right now with these tariff wars, there's some political stuff going on, particularly with Canada, and a lot of political stuff. And I heard Glenn Beck talk about Mark Carney and said, look, Mark Carney wants nothing more than Trump out of office. And he's doing this to make sure that the voters work against him until November.
And then there's that. And,
I don't know if that's true, but that's his idea. Yep.
No, that is true. Mark Carney is with the British Royal Economic System.
He ran their bank, man. He's the only foreigner ever to run their bank. Yeah.
And, the British Royal Economic System is with China to go against America.
And Trump's messing that up for them. Trump's taking it for America first.
And he's trying to bring America back to the glory that it was. But if I could just say, you didn't tell that gentleman, Kyle, who was the guy who was concerned yesterday?
Oh, I'll think of it in a minute, but go ahead. What didn't I tell him?
Let me give this list that you should have given yesterday.
Okay.
These are the tariffs that Canada has against us.
Oh.
They've had these tariffs against us, mind you,
decades,
for the last 70 years. Yes,
decades.
We don't have tariffs against Canada.
No,
understand that. Now we don't have tariffs against them, but listen to what they're doing to us.
It was Clyde. It was Clyde, by the way, that I was talking to. Clyde. Yeah.
I hope Clyde is listening.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The milk is tariffed at 270%.
Wow.
I didn't know you could go over 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for them to
Cheese.
protect their dairy farmers. Yep.
That's to punish us.
Mhm.
Cheese is 245%. Butter is 298%. Oh, I'm going to say it fast because I don't take up your time. Poultry, 238. Eggs, 163. These are all percentages. Barley, wheat, sugar. Barley, 160. Wheat, 94. Sugar, 265. Peanut butter, 295. I can't read my writing. Something is 150. Vegetables, the produce are 100%. Fish, 100%. Lumber, 20%. Shoes, 30%. Cocoa or chocolate, 30%. Metals are 25%, wool 30%, and tobacco 100%. These are all against us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that we can't our people in this country who are involved in those in terms of production can't sell over there.
Right.
Right.
We are not in competition with them in Canada. That's what these means. These are punitive against America.
And that is Trump's main issue, was that we're not getting a fair treatment, and we need to sit down and make it the fair.
Right.
And so the mantra from the left is Trump tariffs, America hurts. No.
Yeah.
If I'm giving the tariff to you, you're the one who hurts. I don't hurt. If you're giving the tariff to me, then that's when I hurt.
Right.
Trump's tariffs are not hurting us. Please tell me the math that goes into that statement from the left that Trump's tariffs hurt us.
Well,
But before you answer that question, I want to say three things. Let's talk about tariffs.
Go ahead.
Milwaukee Tool, Starbucks coffee, and cell phones.
Okay. What?
Okay. Let's put Milwaukee Tool for simplicity. So Milwaukee Tool is a pretty big name in terms of tools, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say for simplicity, Milwaukee Tool sells a drill for $45 in America. Milwaukee Tool sells that same drill in Canada for $45, but the junk tool that Canada has, the guy isn't able to sell his junk drill because people want Milwaukee Tool. So Canada puts 150% tariff on Milwaukee Tool. That doesn't hurt Milwaukee Tool in America. He just can't sell in Canada,
But
so that they can sell their junk drill.
in the world, though, America's the big market. You want America. If you don't have America, you don't have volume. We are the volume.
Say it loud. Say it loud.
You don't have volume. And look,
China,
yeah,
80% of what they sell, we buy.
right.
Okay.
And
So they need us. We don't need them.
Correct.
Tell me, left, how that hurts us. What Trump is trying.
well, what they're saying is, if I buy a product that is made in Canada, and that, then if you put a tariff on it, that's going to raise the price for me. But they're forgetting that you can choose to buy the same product that's made in the United States.
Correct.
And then you don't have to, but they're
Correct.
focusing, the math of the tariff concern is they're focusing on, well, if you only buy that product, then the price is going to go up. Well, then buy a different product that's made here in the United States, and then it's good for everybody.
Right.
So, and that's
What
why
I'm
it
saying,
does hurt
Chris,
other countries, because they do want to buy the product from the United States because we have a much better.
But another thing about that, Chris, is he said, look, all these car companies build the car in America, you get no tariff.
Right.
And so how many plants have been opening up now? Lots of them. And we already had some, but they're building a lot more. So we're bringing jobs because of these tariffs also. I don't know if you missed that one, Mike. But.
We aren't in the running right now because we really are damaged.
Why?
Because of both parties, Republican Party also, because we don't have a foundation for our coming back to manufacturing.
You're wrong.
We still have to catch up in terms of people with the knowledge in terms of the fact.
In some industries, some like building icebreakers, we didn't have the technology to build the icebreakers. We had to get help. Yeah, on that. Yeah. There's some.
in terms of shoes, in terms of now. Here's something that you may have maybe privy to.
What's up?
When I come into to Napa and I pull something off the shelf,
Yeah.
It's probably a 90% chance that's made in China.
No.
It's made in Mexico.
We get Mexico, India, Vietnamese, Thailand. It's all over the world. We've got stuff from all the United States. It's all over the world. China, overall, auto parts could represent about 10%.
See, but we want to make those. Trump wants to make those parts in America again.
Yeah.
So the American people make them. So the American people get jobs. So American people get paid. Yeah. Especially at a point where he wants to get rid of income tax.
One of the hottest foreign countries to go have things, businesses put into for manufacturing has been Vietnam for the last number of years. And Edward, he's a world trader, so he keeps me informed on a lot of that. But a lot of people have moved things into Indonesia, Vietnam, and other places. And diversity is the key. And I think they all figured out they don't want to just lean on China too much on everything.
But for all these people who want to attack Trump and his tariffs, let's talk about Starbucks coffee.
Why?
Starbucks sells a 25-cent cup of coffee for $5. Okay. You know why Starbucks sells a 25-cent cup of coffee for $5?
Because they can.
Yeah.
Because idiots buy it.
Yes. Yeah. Because there's a line. There's a line outside. They like the service. They like the atmosphere. They like being there. They have done a great job of making people want that cup, and good for them. I think that's entrepreneurism at its best. Well, I don't go in there, by the way, but yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Because I'll tell you what, I would like to stand outside there, and I'll probably get shot to find out
I hope not.
How many Republicans are in that line buying that.
Many.
That coffee.
There's going to be a bunch of them. Yeah.
I know a lot of them. I mean, I don't think it's a political place. I mean, they're liberal business owners, but I don't care.
Well, they are known for not letting cops use their bathrooms. In the very beginning,
that was a New York City thing or whatever, but that was overblown.
It was an isolated event.
Yeah.
And they refused to send free coffee to our soldiers when we were in the middle of the war.
I don't know that many people do send free coffee, but they're probably one of the list that didn't. I don't hold that against them. I think their business practices overall are sound. I think the New York thing was blown out of, and they closed all their stores down for training, sensitivity training, which was dumb. But
anyway, what I'm trying to say is people are saying that Trump is going to cause our prices to increase when people buy a 25-cent.
Of course, they're saying it because that's what the left is telling them, and that's what other people are telling them. That's what Carney wants to have happen. Is them to tell them that your price is going to go up 50%, 80%. Look, inflation right now is running 4%, much less than Biden's 8%. It has coming down, and it's going to keep. And the only reason it's even up to 4 is because of the gas thing, and that's transitory. That is transitory. We're going to get the Iran thing figured out, and we'll get the gas back down, and you'll probably see another point or two drop in that inflation thing because it's transportation that's killing it. But they say, well, he's added all these tariffs, the prices went up. Okay, let's look at the prices over the last year. What are we seeing? 3.4, 3.5, 4, and you're. Where did they go up other than just normal growth or inflation? Where did they go up? And you're not seeing it, but people panic. They see 50%. Oh, I'm going to have to pay 1.5 times what I used to pay. That's not true. Not only that, the tariff is on the wholesale, on the cost of making a product. So if the coffee costs 25 cents and they put a tariff on it of 50%, that's 12.5 cents to the 25 cents. That doesn't mean your $5 coffee went up by double. You're not going to charge $7.50 for that coffee. You're going to go have $5.20.
I think his point, though, is it's kind of silly for people to be worrying about the prices going up from tariffs when they're paying 10 times as much for their coffee.
Well, that's a personal choice.
Yeah. But and that's true. And that comes from the left, screaming all these, scare tactics, and people just not paying attention to reality and realizing, you know what, I'm paying a fortune for coffee anyway. Why? Well, I can accept. And the prices aren't going up the way they said.
And these countries still have to compete. So if Trump puts a tariff on, and their price of aluminum goes from $1 to $1.50. No one's going to buy it because we can get it for $1 from Vietnam or somewhere else. You know, there are some items that they own the market, like chips and some other things that we're working hard to produce some lithium and to produce other things for batteries. But we can't let them be a monopoly on anything. And that's so that we can have fair and level trading. And that's what Trump's trying to accomplish. He's trying to accomplish it with Canada. And Carney just said no out of the blue because they thought Trump thought, and everybody thought in the United States I was all doing well. And that's why Glenn Beck, probably rightfully so, said Carney has a political problem. He hates Trump. He wants a Democrat in there that's going to share his one world order socialistic takeover with him. And he needs Trump out of the way. So let's bash him with this, and the people won't vote for him, is what he's hoping for.
They have 60 more days to get Trump out of there, and they are going to do everything they can. But I've got one more thing: the cell phone.
What's that?
That device cost about maybe $10 to make.
Yeah.
And Americans buy it for $1,000, $500, $800.
Yeah.
So all you people who are scared, shut up. Okay. Then here's another thing. That I'll tell you, I'm thinking, what is the Democrat going to do about the October surprise? What is up their sleeve? The October surprise.
They're going to put Hillary in, let Hillary run.
No, you know what I think? The only thing they have left, they are going to pulse us on using the media to tell us Trump is a communist dictator. And they just started.
Oh, they do say that.
Yep.
They've been doing that. They've been saying he's a dictator.
Schumer was saying it yesterday.
Yeah.
You are looking at because he was comparing Trump to all the communists.
Schumer said it in 2020. He said we have to get Biden in 2020. He said that because he's a dictator and we'll never get to vote again. And he was going off on all that stuff in 2020. They've been saying this all along. They've been lying terribly all along.
They're sitting, but here's the thing. He says Trump is going to start taking people out of their houses, dragging people out of their houses. But here's the counter to that: Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, and Bill O'Reilly and Bongino. How about all the people that would still be alive today if you didn't have ICE doing their job?
Yeah. Well, ICE.
How about all the people who have been murdered by the Democrat Party domestic policy?
Well,
and here's another thing to think about, all you people who are scared and having loose stools about Trump's tariffs hurting us.
What?
The imagery.
I didn't want to talk about poop this morning, but go.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're not thinking. They need to hold their bowels. Okay. But the thing about it is, do a little bit of research.
Okay.
It's out there.
Yeah. I agree.
Don't just sit and eat Cheetos and get them on your chest while you're watching Rachel Maddow.
You've been looking in my window. All right, Mike. I got you.
Let's be smart here. Let's stop this anti-Trump stuff, because really, you just said it.
It's not
4%. We're at 4% inflation.
Yeah.
How much was it when Biden was
his
president?
Peaks were like over 8, but overall his 4 years was 25 or so for that whole thing, and we still have that with us. I mean, it raised it permanently. They thought, well, Trump was going to wash it away. That doesn't happen. He said he was going to bring it down, and he has. And it would be even better if it weren't for some of the Iran stuff. But
what is the deficit right now? 35 trillion?
Yeah, something more than it's imaginable. But there's a plan for that. We're not going to get into it right now. I looked
it up yesterday. Yeah. He's been chipping away at that.
Well,
he's been chipping away at that. Yeah, with all the money coming here, coming there.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and I tell you, it says it's down to 3 trillion.
It's not going down yet, I don't think. I mean, you mean the yearly deficit's going down, not the overall debt. Okay, yeah, that's true.
I looked up USA deficit, total deficit.
Yeah,
comes up with 3 trillion.
Yeah.
So has he done that? And it's not getting the media?
Of course. And I don't know if that's his top issue right now. I don't think it is. And I think those things they get tried, and it's one of the more important things in the world. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. It is one of the more important things, and they do have some plans going on how they're going to get it down. I'm not ready to talk about it because I don't understand it as well as I should. But Scott Bessett's a brilliant guy, and he's working on some stuff.
Oh, that guy is amazing.
Yeah,
that guy is amazing.
Yeah.
But give me just a little bit more time. Another thing that people who are scared by listening to the media about Trump's tariffs hurting the prices.
What?
Let's go back to U.S. aid.
Yeah. It comes up occasionally, but I think most people stay away from it because U.S. aid was a corrupt waste of. It was a Democrat slush fund for.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And so we don't have that right now.
No.
So all you people, if you're going to let us know how ignorant you are, just be quiet and go vote. Pull that R lever in November, so we can give this man the House and Senate, and then, man, you're going to see some amazing crap. You are going to see Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama in shackles. Yes, you are.
I don't want to see that. I don't. I think just.
You know what? I do. I disagree with you.
Well, you can want it. That's fine.
The damage that they have done to this country.
It's horrific. They can never pay for it. They'll have to answer to a higher authority. I appreciate the call, man. I got to run.
Right, sir.
Take care, buddy. He had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I didn't let him dominate, but he had 3 points. I don't mind talking about it, but his viewpoints are so caustic.
Well,
has to include you're stupid and it's poop. This is fine. It's his methodology.
I don't tend to use the word stupid. Maybe uninformed or uneducated. or something like that.
Yeah. He's a little more gruff, man. He's hard at it. I got to unbundle some of it.
A couple of times he mentioned the Democrats just hate on Trump, and it reminded me. I saw which one is the son, the Cuomo's? Andrew Cuomo on Bill Maher, and he said that the Democrat Party is basically just hating on Trump.
Yeah, he
flat out said.
Well, it's
the
all true.
Party is not standing up for anything real. They're just hating on Trump. And he mentioned a book from his dad wrote about the way the Democratic Party should be from way back when they were thinking things through. They were working together with the Republicans.
But that's not where we are right now. It's not going to happen.
But I just found it fascinating that a Democrat was saying that out loud on a major show.
There's been more and more of it.
And then AOC said
crazy woke one.
Yeah, crazy woke one. And and so I googled what the evolution of the term woke, and it started with black people like in the 20s.
Yeah, well, Obama's
saying
pushed
stay
it
aware of the problems, and then like in the 2020s they kind of adopted it for the Democrats, the left, saying, "Oh, we're aware of the truth now, and we're going to try to correct things." And then the Republicans started making fun of them, using the word woke, and they didn't like it, and they just gave up on the term completely. And then they tried to say, "Oh, you're bad mouthing people by using the woke term. You made up the woke term."
I've never heard that. I didn't know we had made fun of them.
Oh, we made
they've never
all these woke people.
They've never stopped saying woke though. They're still at it.
But then and AOC said, "Yeah, it was crazy." Well, that's what we were saying.
That's because we're in an election year.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
And they're changing their shift.
Let's talk about some details.
Economic issues. Or something.
Tariffs. Since Mike brought that up,
he brought it up. Yes.
Yeah, and I know Clyde yesterday was pounding it. I mean, he was talking like the end of the world. Right. Like it's a terrible place. The world is just falling apart. Like, which world? Not mine. Not mine. Now, the tariffs are a scare tactic of the left. Are they real? Heck yeah. Is Trump using them for negotiations and things?
Yep.
Yeah, in a big way.
And it worked.
And it's working well. And if you look at our inflation is half of what it was under Biden. And that's even with the gas not quite where it should be because
Right.
of the Iran thing is not finished yet. But let's talk about some of these tariffs with Canada. And me listening to Glenn Beck yesterday talking about Mark Carney, I think it makes sense that it is political. He's trying to get Trump not have a Senate and a House so that it weakens him and that Canada can have their way and keep abusing us and living off of us because the left will give it to them.
How'd Trump say it? They want the benefits of a state without being a state.
Yeah.
They want to live off of
and they have they've been like that. And Trump said that the deal he had struck was like the best of anybody's. They are a neighbor and all that, but Carney wants nothing for him. He wants something else. He wants control, and he flirts with China. Like let's China be my main trading partner and stuff. It's dangerous.
Yeah,
at best. Some articles I read that some farmers in Yuma, particularly in Yuma, which produces 90% of the U.S. green leaf during the winter months, that's also for Canada. Canada imports like 40% of their vegetables from the United States.
Right. Because it's too cold to grow things in Canada.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind, when I say, people look at that and says, well, then we're not going to sell any. It's not going to happen and all that. And I said, well, what about Canadians? Well, they'll just buy it somewhere else. And that's the same people that say that when I say, well, if China raises their price, we'll just buy somewhere else. It's not that easy.
It is that easy.
Well, most things.
Yeah.
Not all. There are a few things that we have to get from China, but we're working fast to get around that, to word it. And Canada has a choice. If they can either have no vegetables or pay the tariff, I guess, because there's no place that can supply them.
Right.
And a lot of farmers are down in Mexico too. And I don't know if they ship it from Mexico and call it Mexican lettuce, but actually like Taylor Farms and all those, they all grow and then they label it U.S. because
they're a U.S. company.
U.S. companies. Yeah. I don't know what they do. They label Mexico and maybe they export it to Mexico or drive it to Mexico and ship it from there. I don't know. There's going to be some workarounds on all this. And we start talking about the 90, the 50% and all that. And people are thinking, oh my God, it's going to go up 50%. No. And keep in mind that is wholesale costing.
Right.
Whatever you manufacture it. So if lettuce costs $1 at the wholesale price and it's 50%, that's 50 cents.
Right.
Not the what do we pay the grocery store? $2.50, $3 at the grocery store by the time it gets handled and it's all the transportation and all that kind of stuff. It's just on the cost of the product. Just keep that in mind, and that's why. And most of them have not been passing it on them, like in China didn't and all that. They didn't want to lose the market share,
right?
To Indonesia, to Vietnam, to other people.
And like you said, the United States is the global consumer.
Right.
We buy. That's what we do. We do that better than anybody else.
I don't know what the percentage is. We buy like half of what's been sold or something.
So when we put a tariff on somebody on another country, then we'll make different decisions. We're not gonna buy it because it is a higher price. And people don't understand that. They're like, oh well, I have to keep buying that from that country.
Right.
And so the price, if you do that, the price will go up, but that's going to be your choice because we'll just buy it from a different country. And the idea is that first country, from Canada or whoever, they're going to lose the sale.
Right.
And then their company is going to hurt. And it's not the money, it's not, being passed on to the Americans unless you choose to keep buying from that country.
Canada's either going to go without lettuce.
Right.
Or because buying all that lettuce from somewhere else, it just isn't available. I mean, you see what happens in Yuma, the farming.
Yeah.
Where are you going to spool that up in Vietnam? You're not going to. It's not going to happen.
It takes decades to.
It's not going to happen. The only one that could do it is probably Mexico, but that's American farmers in Mexico that is doing that stuff. So a lot of this is
buying it from us in the first place because it was a better product for a better price.
It's a lot of this is fear. I believe it is fear, and that's what Carney wants to do. Carney hates Trump, and he's trying to do this. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy addressed the diplomatic friction between the two. He said the fact that we provide their security for them and they take advantage of. I think President Trump was the first one to go, you know what? That's not the kind of relationship that friends should have.
Right.
Because NATO,
It's not.
I mean, for them being a NATO, they're supposed to spend like 3% of their gross national. They were like at 1.5 or something, and they don't have the stuff. They expect us to protect them, in case of an invasion or something, and we would. I'm sure we would.
Yeah.
But the Arizona Farmer Bureau, and this is Sean Wood, it shows concern, and he should be. I'm not faulting that. He says it's important to get this resolved, solved quickly because they're in the planting season too. We can't just walk in a store and decide to plant something different tomorrow. We've already committed to that. These are 6-month decisions we've made. So this causes a lot of pressure on the industry, and all these uncertainties start to make it really challenging.
I'll eat more lettuce.
Okay, we'll eat
so
more.
we can sell more lettuce.
And yeah,
we all should be eating more lettuce anyway, probably.
I agree. The farmers, you see the fields, they're already prepped.
Yeah.
Everything's ready to go.
Yeah.
They're not going to say, well, we're going to put in cotton. That's just not going to happen. And I don't know if Canada's going to cut them off and we'll figure something out. I don't know. Carney and his crew, which is really just concerning, is Melanie Joy, Canada's industry minister. She says, we are picking products that will target states in the United States. I mean, this is intentional punishment.
Right.
Because they hate Trump. They want him out of office.
I don't think
they don't. She doesn't say that.
Right.
That was Glenn Beck that said that. She says, we're being wise and strategic to put political pressure, and that's why we think it's the right thing to do now. Canada's tit-for-tat tariffs are the latest volley in a widening trade war, pit 2 longtime allies against each other, a fight that experts say could hurt both countries economically. And keep in mind, economically, they're the size about California.
Yeah. And that's the other issue. These kind of, tariff wars, it's, who's going to blink first?
Well,
we're not going to blink.
This is Carney that wants to do this.
Yeah. They're going to blink first.
And she says the conflict comes after Trump administration announced 50% tariffs, which he did.
Right.
When they said, we're not talking, we're done. And they tariff us on a lot of stuff and they won't negotiate it. So he just said, 50% done on Canadian products following failed negotiations. Well, they walked out, not us. President Trump also announced 50% tariffs on Canadian automotive steel imports. Absence of deal would take effect January 1st, 2027. And that was put off intentionally, I'm sure. I mean, Trump doesn't. He wants to negotiate deals. That's what he does.
Yeah.
He said Canada's tariffs appear designed to put pressure on the United States with competitive midterms and elections, according to economists. The import duties will be applied to more than 800 types of U.S. products, impacting everything from American-made cheddar cheese, steel, aluminum producers, Wisconsin, Vermont manufacturers, Michigan, Indiana. Canada picked red states, Trump supporters,
right,
and swing states, and said, what are their industries? And they're tearing. I mean, it's a political move to sway our elections. And maybe they're only going to do it for a couple months.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Canadian government data shows while North Dakota, the state most reliant with Canada, excluding fuel products, a large share of its exports consists of soybeans and all that. Michigan, Indiana, and other states' large manufacturing sectors that ship goods to Canada are likely to feel bigger impact than agricultural states like North Dakota because the new tariffs will apply to U.S.-made appliances, steel, aluminum, tools, according to experts. Michigan, Indiana have been some of the worst hit by unfair foreign trade practices, included by Canada. They also go after Maine, apparently, because Maine has a very sensitive Senate deal. So they said, okay, we're tariffing lobsters because they don't want Susan Collins to be reelected.
Okay.
How about that? Oh, this is all political.
It is, yeah.
And they hired for one of their foreign ministers or something, somebody that's in charge of that stuff, a Democrat political operative that's been going against Trump for decades, helping politics and all that on how to manage some of this stuff. So this is all very political, which is
what tariff wars are. They're political things, but I don't think it's going to have the impact that they're hoping for.
I don't know. We got the
we
leftists
globally,
but we got the Chuck Schumers and everything saying and Clyde.
Well, that's what they do.
The world's ending. This is terrible, and all that stuff. It's going to cost us a fortune. What is it that we get from Canada that all of a sudden is going to be stupid and it's going to shut down our government?
Right.
Nothing.
Well, and how much do they actually buy from us that their boycotts are going to hurt us.
Canada realizes that they're in a strong position, and this Melanie Jolly, Canada's industry minister, says if you see a Canadian product, please support it. When you are choosing a Canadian product, you're not only putting pressure on the U.S., and that's what it's all about. You're putting pressure on the U.S., but right now you're protecting jobs. But she just comes out and says it. This is about getting at Trump.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't use his name, but it's
Right.
U.S. Some of Canada's new tariffs target America, probably with its Maine. I already said that one. Canadian tariffs on U.S. products daily will affect states as Wisconsin, Vermont. Canadians buying 80% of cheese exports. They're specifically going after red states.
And that's fine.
Oh, man.
No, we'll
I'm voting twice for Trump now. The Canadians Minister of Jobs and Family said on Tuesday, Canadians know how to weather the storm. Sticking together, we can get through anything. So it tells me they're only going to do this till the election.
Okay.
Which
is going
just
to reduce the impact even more.
They just want the House to go against Trump and have him impeached. Yeah. And that's a foreign country doing that stuff.
And they have their interest. I just don't know if it's a universal interest among the Canadians. I think
I know a lot of
we'll
Canadians
see how much they care when they don't have any lettuce, or it's costs a lot more because they're getting it from another country or something like that.
There's a lot of Canadians I know support Trump.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of Canadians come down here, have Trump signs up, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's not the ones you see on TV right now.
No. Well, and I don't see the everyday Canadian. I see these people in high office, and I don't know how far down the that sentiment goes. So
Carney hates Trump.
We'll find out.
And he wants to
hurt
him.
It's going to have the same, a similar impact effect on both countries. People are going to buy from their country. Americans are going to buy American. Canadians are going to buy Canadian, which is going to be good for both economies.
Yeah.
If they're buying from their own country, that's great. I just don't think I don't think they're going to have the transformative impact that they're hoping to have. On
Trump has been bringing more and more manufacturing home.
Yeah.
And he needs to.
And that's huge. That's such a great deal.
Yeah. Let's talk to Gilbert. Good morning, Gilbert.
Hey, Gilbert.
You got my message, huh, Russ?
I did not. I turned it on anyway.
Yeah, because I said your phone's wrong.
It was.
Okay. Where I'm at. First of all, what I worry about Canada and their alliance with China. Chris, you're a military, former Marine.
Yeah.
Do we need to guard our back door?
We guard every door.
Right. But Canada's one of the back doors. Mexico is one of the back doors. So if China starts influencing Canada the way they're trying to right now, I would be very interested in what's going on there militarily, economically, and persuasion from the Chinese, as I would Mexico.
Yeah.
So there's where I'm worried about Canada. The tariff, that doesn't bother me too much because they've been doing that forever.
Right.
I think that the mainstream media, along with this idiot, the prime minister, is that what he's called, prime minister?
Yeah.
In Canada?
Yeah.
The last guy that they had there, he swished when he walked, and he walked with a limp hand. So this guy's no better.
He's dating a movie. I mean, a singer. Who was it? Taylor Swift? No, not Taylor Swift.
No.
The one that was on American Idol. Yeah.
How many actors had a wife just to hide their identity?
I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I don't care.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Who cares? Who cares? I don't.
Well, you brought it up.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the last guy that switched. We knew that. That guy wasn't, Anyway, I'm worried about Canada getting involved with the Chinese as far as military.
We should be.
Why?
We should be.
That's where I'm at with that. With that, the tariff that's going to happen. The problem with our commander in chief is his delivery.
That's often a concern.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with him is his delivery. I have a problem with that because I'm conservative. I believe I'm very conservative,
Mhm.
but I'm also streetwise. And the best way to piss me off is to talk stupid towards me or at me. And that's what Commander in Chief has been doing lately.
Well, he's a New
He's
Yorker.
talking
He's been
down.
doing that his whole life. You know?
I'm so tired of that, Russ.
Mhm.
Well, I'm just
I am
telling
so
you,
tired of
he's
making
doing it his whole life.
So
It's
that's
not
an
new.
excuse. Yeah. You know what? That's an excuse.
No,
And that excuse, that's not an excuse.
it's part of who he is, buddy. He ain't gonna
Yeah,
change him.
I ain't your buddy. Friends
Oh,
shake hands and buddies.
it's the
do
way
what?
he is my enemy.
I'm just saying, you all
Oh.
say what you, but you know what? The problem with him, he takes 10 feet forward and 20 feet backwards once he starts opening his mouth.
Well,
And
Gilbert,
he's
yes,
change a lot. He's going to change a lot of Republicans.
I know
minds
that's
when it
I know
comes
that's
to
how you
voting.
feel. I do.
Well, that's okay, and you feel the way you feel, and that's
Uh-huh.
all right.
Right.
We've both been proven wrong in the past,
Mhm.
More than once.
right?
Yeah.
More than once, and that's all I'm saying. As a conservative Republican American, I believe I'm a patriot.
I think so.
We cannot afford his BS in the midterms, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The other day we were at the meeting, and didn't one of the speakers said that this is the worst midterm?
I don't think that.
No. He was talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
some problems up in Maricopa, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
But the bottom line is, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to just no. We need to adjust ourselves and become winners. And Trump is not helping us with this BS.
Gilbert,
He's not.
you can wish that he's not going to change. It's who he is. It is.
And America's going to suffer because of that?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nope, I don't think so.
I have clear glasses, and I've seen more Republicans are starting to speak out on the way he speaks.
Okay. I mean, we've always had some, always.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing more.
Okay.
Me, that I'm out here in the public in these different organizations where I go hang out at,
Right.
they are speaking about how bad he sounds.
Yeah. He's always been like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, that's the reasons why people are turning their backs on him. And I hope it doesn't. Screw up our midterms. Yeah.
Well, time will tell.
Anyway,
All right.
time will tell.
All right.
All right. Later, man.
Thank you, buddy. Bye-bye. Yeah, nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
Well, and it's Trump.
Yeah, and Trump has acknowledged it himself.
Yeah.
There's multiple times he's like, "Oh, I'm starting to go off my teleprompter. I've been told don't go off the teleprompter."
But
I go off.
He's honest. I appreciate that he is who he is.
And he's been around long enough. I think people are kind of inoculated to it. They're like,
and I think
who he is. That's
I think
the way
Carney needs to be smacked around.
Yeah. But as far as Gilbert's concerned about the way, because I have an issue with the way Trump, delivers.
It's not how I would deliver. Not a lot of people could pull it off.
But people are used to it. They've accepted it. That's just what we're gonna have from him,
dude.
And I don't think it's having the impact on the midterms.
Been like that his whole life.
Well, back in what was it? His first midterm was 2018.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I don't think people were used to it yet.
No.
And I think it did have an impact. But now people know what to expect. I don't think it's going to have the impact that it did then.
CNN
now, people are as far as policy wise, we have some Republicans that are speaking out against some of the things that Trump wants to say, but they're doing it because their constituents need to vote for them, and so they're speaking the way they need to.
If you're doing 1,000 different things, you're going to find somebody who doesn't like something.
So I'm not concerned.
I agree.
With that.
They just did a poll on CNN, and I saw it the other day, where they're talking about popularity of presidents to Republicans.
Right.
And they listed Abraham Lincoln at 8% as being the top, Ronald Reagan at like 20% or something like that, and Trump at 55 right now. Right now, as effective or as president. I don't remember the exact. I don't have it in front of me. I didn't get a copy of it, but I saw it on the news. And I was like, wow. I mean, it has never stopped. I mean, over the last, since he's been elected, they do polls all the time. He hasn't lost anybody now, except Gilbert.
Right.
No, I don't know. No, he
No,
hasn't. He
Gilbert
hasn't. He
backs him up.
hasn't. He hasn't
He's-
lost Gilbert.
Yeah.
Gilbert's frustrated because he
wants
thinks
him
he's
to-
going to lose other people.
Yeah, exactly.
He says
I would
Gilbert
like
wants
a
him to
president
do.
to look,
But
and
then he
sound
wouldn't
more
be Trump, would he?
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Yeah. It's a whole package. If you want part of it, you got to take all of it.
I mean, we got the guys.
And, at the meeting on Tuesday, they were joking. What's Chris going to show up? Wearing when he shows up? Because I was speaking.
Oh,
I knew I was
I
speaking.
lost money on that.
Did you?
Yeah, I told him you'd wear shoes.
Shoes. But I don't like putting on airs. I am who I am, and this is it's hot. I'm gonna dress in the way that fits me. I'm not gonna change who I am to meet your expectation. You know who I am. You know what you're gonna get. Now if I were to get onto the school board, there is a dress code for the school board. I'll meet the dress code.
You got those clothes available?
Yeah, they're in my closet. I can put them on when I need to. But when I'm out being myself, I'm going to be myself, and Trump is going to be himself.
No question.
You're not going to get one without part of the other.
No question.
The other, so,
and I'm going to tell Gilbert again. He's a New Yorker, man.
Yeah. I would like his, he does. You'll see it from time to time. He'll catch himself. Oh, I shouldn't go in that direction, and he'll catch himself. And I'm sure he's got plenty of advisors around him saying, maybe I shouldn't say it that way. But
I grew up in Dover,
say
Delaware. That's where I went to high school and junior high and college in Dover, Delaware. And we used to joke about New York. In fact, I used to drive. New York was as close to us as Phoenix is to me right now.
Right.
I was that close to New York City.
Everything is so close over
there. It's all close. So we would drive to New York City as kids, stupid kids, and try to out F you a cab driver.
Good luck.
Yeah, you pull aside a cab driver and say something obscene back, and they just go nuts on you. You don't win that one.
Yeah.
It's like Trump.
Yeah.
You're not going to win that one. New York's fun. I always enjoyed it, even when it was dangerous. It wasn't dangerous under Giuliani. I loved it much more.
Well, and dangerous. There's so many people there. The percentage, chance that something will happen might be higher than other places, but it's still.
We used to see the crime. I mean, used to watch it on the streets.
Yeah, my mom. Some guy was running out of the subway and bumped into my mom and tripped, and right behind him were police officers grabbing him up and taking him, and just freaked her out. She's like, whoa.
When I was just out of high school, when I was 20 or so, we used to go up there, and there were New York City police on horseback all the time, on Times Square all the time. Just to be able to maneuver around, chase, and there'd be guys selling things out of their jackets. And then the horse would come by, they'd close the jacket, and then they open up the jacket, watches, drugs, whatever. Right. It was nasty. I mean, it was terrible. That all went away.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it is now. I don't know. I haven't been back. I used to go back every year.
With Mom Donnie, you can.
I'm not too interested in going back right now. But I have high hopes for these midterms. Anything can happen. I'm not naive to it. The incumbent executive branch always has a disadvantage and normally loses. The polls are not showing big losses. In fact, it shows that the Senate is looking likely that it's going to stay the same or maybe even gain a Republican, and the House is on the edge. We don't know. I show some polls that go up, some that go down. Where there's nothing like when Obama was in, and he lost 60 in his first 60 seats.
History. The history is against us, but the Democrat Socialist is I think going to balance things out, because even the Democrats, the everyday Democrat, is like,
Mike's calling back. Am I allowed to take 2 calls from him? All right, I'll do it.
The other days.
All right, Mike. What's up?
Different Mike, but
Gilbert is the reason why we're going to lose.
No, I'm not going to put that on him.
Gilbert is the reason why we're people like that. He doesn't speak he's not the great orator of Yuma that he thinks he is. You know,
I don't know.
Well, but he does a great job. I mean, he does, and he's a patriot and all that stuff. But
and he
he's
does
gonna-
a great
he's gonna
job of
vote-
speaking for himself. Yeah,
he's
he does
going to
a
be
great
voting
job of that.
conservatively.
he
But
cares so much.
Got to remember.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
people got to remember one thing.
What's that?
Trump got to where he's at because he's Trump.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with people like Gilbert is he thinks that he's the reason why Trump got elected. The Republican Party had nothing to do with Trump getting elected.
Well,
Trump got elected, and the Republican Party won the day because he was a Republican.
I'm a Republican. I helped
So-
him. So, I
we
mean,
did a lot of
we did a lot.
door-knocking
We did a
and-
lot.
Yeah.
But you're right. There were some main players like, the people he ran against in 16 that didn't step up and help him like they should have, even though they signed a contract that said they would. Ted Cruz is
But
one
let's
of them.
remember,
Yeah.
in the primaries, I think a majority of his picks won the primaries.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
majority of the people he didn't want lost the primary.
that's an understatement.
That's an
He's
got the
he's
black
shooting
vote.
over 90%, buddy.
So he's got the black vote. I mean, he's got
Nah.
the black vote. Like,
No, he's got an increase
You
in
don't
the black
think
vote.
so?
No,
No.
he's got an increase in the black vote. I mean, the black vote for president used to be less than 90. I mean, less than 10%.
Yeah.
And he's in the 20s. So he's doubled what normal Republicans doubled or tripled.
Well, we got a lot of Hispanics around here
But,
that are voting for him.
but
He's making inroads.
the thing that cranks me is, you could say what you want to say about Trump, but keep it to yourself, because the momentum of this country needs to win in the midterms.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that Trump speaks the truth is not going to lose him one vote, except maybe Gilbert.
All right.
Gilbert's
So-
going to vote for him.
All right, Mike.
Yeah.
I appreciate the call, buddy. Take care, man.
Well, I hate when people resort to the Democrat narrative. There's one
Well-
thing that the Republican Party likes to do is promote the Democrat narrative.
All right. I appreciate your viewpoint, buddy. Take care, man. Bye. Now Gilbert's probably calling. Hey,
No, we're backing up.
Yeah,
Gilbert.
I-
No, we
look,
got you,
look.
Gilbert.
Mike, force me to protect Gilbert.
Gil, I've said the same thing. I wish Trump would speak differently.
Yeah.
But but Mike's right. You get Trump, you get Trump.
There's
But
times we all say, ouch.
We're going to be voting conservatively.
Yeah.
Whether it's for Trump or a Republican senator or Ken.
Yeah.
We can speak our mind
Not-
and still vote appropriately.
I think so.
The liberal, not the liberals, the independents are
Mhm.
always a concern, but I think they are recognizing what Trump is doing. And like I said,
we got to
they're
give
used
them
to him.
reasons, and
Yeah.
we got to talk about accomplishments. We got to talk about what's going on
Yeah.
and policies, and not worry about rhetoric. Really,
Yeah.
I
And,
t-
and
I told you Gilbert would call back. Now,
Gilbert's
see,
calling back in.
I'm going to give these guys each other's number, and we could take the middleman out of it. Good morning, Gilbert.
Yes. And Mike's the type of guy that
Uh-oh.
we look at him and we nod. We
Okay,
just nod our head. We ignore what he's saying.
all right.
We do. What I'm saying about Trump is like all these criminals that do criminal
You
acts.
see what Mike did?
How many times have we excused their behavior because the way they grew up, because they didn't have a father in the home,
Well,
they
we-
didn't have this at home? How many times have we gave that behavior a pass?
yeah, you and I don't give that a pass. We don't, but too many
But
people.
You
have.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And Mike calls up, tells me about my. You know what? I don't care about what he says.
Yeah, you do. You
I'm
wouldn't
just
have
trying
called
to
me.
clarify. No, I'm trying to clarify, which I should have said, and I didn't say it. Is excusing Trump's behavior is like we excuse the criminal's behavior. Oh, that's the way he grew up, and he had a bad home, and yada yada yada. That's all I'm
I
saying.
find a great distinction in that, but yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying they're we're saying the same thing.
Well, I think a
It's
guy that
because-
shoplifts and steals and robs needs to fix it. unacceptable. I think a guy like Trump that talks his mind doesn't need to be fixed. It's a personal choice, and it's his rhythm. It's his way of going to business.
Yeah. All that. But all I'm saying is he is turning people away. And me being around a lot of Canadians and some of these organizations that I'm involved with, I'm hearing a lot of disdain of Trump.
Okay.
A lot.
You've mentioned it to me dozens of times today. All right.
Yeah, but this Mike guy, he's an idiot.
No. You see what you're doing, Gilbert? I'm not going to take calls from either one of you. I'm going to send you each other's number. All right.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Buddy. All right, man.
That's
I appreciate you. Take care.
Good.
What?
I heard
I think
call
that
coming in while he was talking.
That was a spam call.
Oh, okay.
That was nothing. No, I'm going to take that. They both care.
They do.
They both care.
They both care, just differently.
And they hate each other's caring the way they care. And they have different opinions. And I'll talk to both of them.
But yeah, the independents are where a big variable is, but they are, poll after poll is showing that they, are recognizing what Trump is doing. They may not like him personally, but they like what's happening, and I think that's going to have a huge impact on.
Now, Mike's calling back again. I can't do it, Mike. Mike, I can't do it. I'm not going to carry it on. You could call Gilbert. I'll give you his phone number. Man.
And then the other thing that we as Republicans can do is get the vote out. I think it was Mike mentioned there's all these people that are registered to vote but don't vote. If we can get them to vote, boom,
well,
everything changes,
and
especially in a midterm. The more you get out to vote.
And something that I don't think everyone understands is how much that the Republican Party and others work on get the vote out. Yeah. I mean, phone banks and people volunteer and people doing things and advertisement things in the paper things. It happens all the time. And then people says, well, you Republicans don't do anything. you guys aren't paying attention. Yeah. You're not paying attention because there's a lot of things going on. And granted, we don't reach everybody we want to.
Right.
And not everybody we reach is going to change a habit, maybe. But that doesn't mean we don't quit trying.
Right.
And we keep pushing and we keep giving
and
people
it does work. It's success breeds success. We saw it in the last election.
Yeah.
We got so many people out to vote that we broke records and boom, Trump won by a landslide. So yeah, it works. We'll do it again.
Yes, it does. And I know there's people working all over the place, a lot of hard workers. I'll change subject a little bit. The Pro Bowl is dead now in the NFL. Did you know that? They killed the Pro Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no more Pro Bowl.
Huh.
Started in 1951. Began 1951 in January. It was the first modern NFL Pro Bowl. That was before I was born, and I'm old.
I always thought that was pretty cool. I don't know why people, and I'm not a
Here's the
follower.
reason.
I don't follow sports.
The reason is everything's changed so much in professional football. The Pro Bowl has become a joke and the viewership drops off. In 2000, Pro Bowl drew 13.24 million viewers.
It was supposed to be fun.
But last year, the last one they just did, 2 million. That's less than WNBA Fever game.
No kidding.
Yeah. That's less than women's basketball.
That's weird.
Well, here's what they did.
It's supposed to be a fun game. Just, get the grades out and have a good time.
But what happened was, as more pressure came in doing well in the playoffs, like all these, the Pro Bowlers are all going to be playoff guys mostly.
Right, yeah.
You're going to be a lot of playoff guys.
Right.
And those playoff guys are not going to get injured for the playoff. So a lot of them just started not going, and they would put in substitutes. So they would pick 80 guys for the Pro Bowl, and then they'd pick a bunch of substitutes because the guy that was selected couldn't go, so somebody else went in his place. So he didn't even get them. And then they were so worried about the injuries, they turned it into just a competition of skills, not even a game.
Oh, they did?
And they played a game of flag.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I don't follow the sports.
Yeah, for fear of injuries. The fear of injuries took it over, and nobody wanted to play these. I mean, some of these guys are making huge money to play. Everything's on their shoulders. We want to get to the Super Bowl. You can't afford an injury, and you go out in a
But
Pro
I thought
Bowl.
they did the Pro Bowl like just a week or two before the Super Bowl, and it would have.
I don't know.
people
It was
more in it.
see, it was before.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think it was after, right?
No, but it was
But
not long.
but yeah,
before,
but
so
you get
they
hurt
knew
and you
who was
can't play
going
the
to-
Super Bowl. What are you going to do?
Well, then there's 2 teams going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other teams.
Well,
that could
a lot of them just
provide
didn't
for the
play. They
Pro
didn't want
Bowl.
injuries.
That's interesting.
So now they're going to change it to where they're going to still go select they're going to select Pro Bowlers,
Right.
even without a game, and just having a ceremony. And they
Oh.
think they'll get more viewers on that than some kind of flag football, or see who can pass the ball best or something.
Nah, I don't see that happening.
I don't know. They decided to cancel it.
Hmm.
We get 2 million viewers. They probably lost money on it.
Right.
You know, it's expensive to probably put that thing on. And seriously, the Indiana Fever now does get over 2 million.
That's
The
great.
Indiana basketball, women's basketball is getting over 2 million.
Huh.
Better than the NFL Pro Bowl.
Is
Who
that the
would've-
one that Caitlin Clark is
Yeah,
on?
Caitlin Clark. Yeah. Yeah, she's breaking all kinds of records. People like her. Well, a lot of
I've heard
people
of it,
like
I've
her.
never watched
There's
it.
as many people hate her within the league.
Right.
I mean, they smash her, hit her. The refs, you know,
Polarizing.
will look the other way. You know,
Oh, and yeah, I've seen some
it's
of
just
those.
like, oh my
I've
gosh,
seen
is
some
that
of
even?
those, and
I think that's a 911 call. I think you call that a mugging.
yeah, and I've said it before. If all these people that are being violent and aggressive on a sports field, diamond, court, whatever sport they're playing, because they it's a sport. We have a referee. They'll call the penalty, whatever. Those are crimes. Sometimes those
there's
are
crimes.
actual crimes.
You know-
And kids are looking up to these people doing this kind of stuff publicly and saying, "Oh, well, that's the way you do it. That's the way you play." And it's just tears down the integrity of the game and the integrity of these kids coming up. And I would really love to see one of them picked up by the cop and led off the Let out
NFL,
of
the NBA used to have that problem. I mean, it got pretty rough,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they straightened it out. And
Yeah.
they said, we just can't keep going down this road.
well, they had people that were the enforcers.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that
and,
was their position.
and they have that in the women's now.
Yeah.
There's enforcers. Cunningham, the one that's she's more popular than Kate Clark right now.
I don't know who she
Sophie
is.
Cunningham. She's a blonde that came on to be the enforcer for Caitlin, and people love her. She's quirky.
Is she the one that said something
about men should not be in women's sports.
Yeah.
That's all she said. She says, I'm not anti-trans, or they can come to my table anytime, but not in the sports. It shouldn't be in the sports. And they hate her for it.
Right.
They boo her. And she loves it, though. She's like a black belt karate and a
Bring it
wonderful
on.
lady. And she just got a shoe deal from Adidas, which is just ticking off the rest of the players. Because that's a rare deal to get a custom shoe made in your name. Only superstars get that.
Right.
Sophie got one
Well,
just
good for her.
recently. And she has more, I guess she's been drawing more hits and social media,
social media.
than Caitlin.
Ah.
And that's something. And they're both on the same team, obviously.
It's not obvious. I had no idea.
And well, she's the important. So they're doing better than the Pro Bowl.
That's interesting.
The 2 of them. Oh, it's fascinating. But in the female league, they allow them to have fingernails. Now in the
really?
men's
Yeah.
league, they made you trim them because you don't know when they need to get cut.
Yeah.
There's women that actually they cut people regularly, cut their arms, cut them, and just grab and cut intentionally. I mean, all the players know who they are,
Right.
and nothing's done about it. I'd say, look, you got to cut those nails off. Cut them.
Fingernails can carry a lot of germs.
Cut them,
Yeah.
or tape them up.
Right.
Something. People shouldn't get scratched, but you could see them after the game. These girls are all scratched the heck up. It shouldn't happen. I mean, those kind of details is just like, what kind of league is this that they let that happen?
The women's league.
Yeah, I guess so. A women's league that can't define woman.
Right. Oh, I saw one of the guys that
There's 2 of them.
Yeah, and I saw one of them and at an interview, and the interviewer was asking him, "So, are you a trans woman?"
I saw that. Yeah.
And he's like, and he didn't answer that,
Right.
But he said,
not directly,
if I
indirectly.
can, it just says, a woman,
Yeah.
and they're allowing if you identify as a woman, you can. So I'm going to identify as a woman.
Yeah.
And I, put whatever label you want on that. He's going to,
Well,
challenge
they've
it.
already turned
And he
them.
says, I'm following the rules.
The WNBA
you
has
don't
already
want me to do it?
has
Change the
already
rules.
announced that neither one of these two former NBA players meet our criteria. They're not going to be allowed to play. Now there's
lawsuits. Be a
lawsuits.
lawsuit. Yeah.
Absolutely, and there should be.
Yep. It should
Because they won't define what a woman is.
Right. Well, they shouldn't have to.
Yeah, they should. In
A
today's
woman
day,
is a woman. Oh yeah, yeah. In
today's
yeah.
people say, women, what do you mean by that?
Right.
Well, you would think that's a ridiculous question. And 20 years ago it was.
And it still is if you ask a child. Well, that's a woman. That's a man.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
a child can answer a question so easily,
Yeah.
we should be able to as well.
Yeah, well, there's some hardcore that'll never tell you what a woman is.
Yeah.
And
And it's not like this is a new thing. We had people, Oprah had guys on that help I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. And that was a joke and a catchphrase for a few years. How it blew up, I don't understand. Why it suddenly became the trendy thing to do.
There's a huge population of like mostly white women that are standing by this thing.
Yep.
Huge, that just say, look, we're going to go with all the nonsense.
Yep.
It just is. It's everybody's right.
Well, and then
I don't
you got
understand it.
people
I don't know.
especially in the like Hollywood and music industry
Yeah.
and things, who they know that if they say something against it, their careers are over.
Correct.
So and that's true. That's always been the case. People in an industry that has to support it, they'll support it publicly, but they can't all be backing it up.
I would think so.
I've been in local plays here in Yuma, and there'd be people in that community. Well, I'm not into that. I don't agree with that, but I didn't have to talk to them. I would come in, we'd do the play, we'd do our rehearsals, and we'd go home.
Right.
I didn't have to stand up and say, "Oh, I'm backing you all the way to do the play."
Yeah, we're just
I
here to
did
do
the
a play.
I worked with them. I went home, and that was that.
Yeah.
So but if you put the camera on me and my life, my livelihood depends on it, then you start thinking things. So
I people like Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton never really took an issue on anything.
No.
That was smart.
Yeah.
She's a smart lady.
She was.
She
did you notice?
kind of like Michael Jordan had said, look, Republicans buy sneakers too. I'm not making any comments.
Yeah. She died on September 25th, 9/25.
Oh, 9 to 5. Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, my wife
that famous song. Obviously.
Yeah, my wife pointed that out to me yesterday. I was like, "That's crazy," because I posted to my family to let them know when I heard the news. I sent it's 5 o'clock, Dolly. You can go home now. And they were like, "Oh, that's so cool." But then to hear that she died on 9/25, I was like, "That she must have planned it."
I don't think so. I didn't know she was
I
sick.
might make it another day, but we're gonna go today. 9/25.
She had cancer apparently.
Yeah,
Never
she
said
didn't tell
anything
anyone,
to anybody.
But she did say things like, she was when she was taking care of her husband, she neglected some of her health and things like that. But and she was skipping, canceling appearances and things like that. So when that starts happening, you're right. It's coming along. But and then that actor, oh shoot, I can picture him in my face.
The guy that did Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry died.
Yeah, and both of them at 80. And so my brother-in-law says, somebody wrap Cher up in bubble wrap because she's 80.
Yes, Tim Curry, the sweet transvestite from
that
Transylvania. Terrible movie, but it was a cult classic.
I love that movie.
I know.
But
I went to the movie in theaters and did all the throwing toast and yelling and screaming. It was an event.
Which costume were you wearing?
I didn't wear one. I did not wear a costume. I did not go as a transvestite.
Oh, okay. Well, you could have been.
Where was that? Was like 79 or something.
It's just such a fun movie. I love that movie. But everything he did,
he was fun.
I loved him.
He was a good guy.
Fantastic in everything he did.
I could not have done that role.
He was in Home Alone 2 with Trump.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
But
Trump was in Home Alone too. You know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was too.
And then Tim Curry was
Tim
the
Curry.
the
Yeah, he was an
receptionist.
interesting actor.
Loved
But
that
to
guy.
get a role and say, okay, you're going to dress up as a transvestite and sing songs as a transvestite.
And early in his career,
Yeah, it was.
that's the role that set him.
And yeah, because no one else would do it. I want to talk about immigration arrests. You know,
Okay.
we've been having a lot of what they call protest on immigration, which it's not.
Right.
It's agitators.
Right.
I mean, people out throwing things and breaking cars and doing stuff, and they call it just mostly peaceful protest.
Right.
And it got a lot of news for a long time, and finally they cracked down on it, and they started making arrests. And the problems really happened in the cities that were sanctuary because they refused to have the police officers even try to stop crime
Right.
if it was against an ICE agent, which is like stupid. And it just grew, and it getting a lot of damage, a lot of problems. They started arresting some of them federally. They started getting federal arrests, and then it went up to
Well,
the
yeah,
locals.
that's when
They brought in
Trump
more
did that
border
in LA
patrol to
and
do
stuff, yeah.
all that stuff, and then these sanctuary cities says, okay, we'll do the arrests. You know, we'll keep the peace, so you don't have to arrest all our citizens federally, because the federal charges ain't going to go away.
Right.
You know, that's not like a local judge says, yeah, you were just being a protester, go away. I don't care if it was a lit bottle of gasoline. It's just protesting. So it's been quiet.
Yeah.
But the arrests have escalated.
Yeah. Well, that, and they're running out of money to pay all these protesters because we have all.
Oh,
you know.
Well, they've Antifa and stuff has been put on a terrorist watch list and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them have left country because there's been some investigations going on about the conspiracy, because these guys show up all over. The money's going in to hurt America, and then these guys, I mean, they're having some serious investigations. I don't know where it is, but they're scared, and a lot of them have left. So they're laying low. So the arrest last month in July, in July, 49,571 by ICE.
Wow.
That averages out to 1,599 apprehensions a day.
And these aren't the illegal aliens. These are the people protesting about. That's
most of them. Well, they're illegals, but most of them they're going after a criminal. And I think I've heard numbers 60, 70, 75%. That's what they get. A lot of times the criminals holding hands with a friend that's a non-criminal, but another illegal, and they go too.
Right.
They got to go out and find you.
Well, but
they're taking the room.
These are probably American protesters.
No, I'm talking about deportations.
Oh, I thought you were talking about they were arresting the protesters.
No. I was just saying they arrest the protesters. That's why.
Okay.
That's why they're able to get so many illegals.
Okay, I see.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that, so I didn't confuse the listeners. Now they arrest the protesters. That's why they're able to do their jobs.
So now they can do their job. Yeah. Okay.
So they got 49 last month. The month before was 43,000. Now it's 49.5. And ICE has hired a tremendous amount of people. You don't read about it. I've talked to some ICE agents, and they've put a tremendous amount. And some of the people they hire are not necessarily field agents,
right,
but processors.
And that's there's a border patrol agent that lives near me, and he would years ago during Biden, he would be going in, sitting at a desk, processing people because they didn't have processors. So I'm like, so they paid we paid a fortune.
Oh yeah,
to train you to be an effective agent out in the field catching these people.
Yep.
And you're sitting at a desk typing things up on paper.
Yep.
When they could have somebody else doing that.
The Biden administration put barriers on what ICE was allowed to do.
Right.
The Yuma office of ICE agents, and we have a Yuma office here of ICE agents, they made 12 arrests in Biden's last year. 12 for the whole year. Averaged one a month. Because and it's not that they didn't have targets, not that they
Right.
didn't have it, but there was a criteria of what they were allowed to do and not do, and they were frustrated. And
I'm sure.
I know one of the guys that was ready. I'm going to go for early retirement. I'm going to get out of here. Trump won, and he says, not leaving.
Staying. Yeah.
I'm going to do my job.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have
because people get into those kind of professions
to do it,
to serve the community.
That's right.
And when you
They
tie
wanna serve.
their hands like that,
He wasn't fulfilled. He wasn't just looking for a paycheck,
No, yeah, and they're not getting
He wanted to
paid
be productive.
crazy money either. So
They get paid
they
well.
get paid all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're doing
particularly
all
you
right.
start
They're
getting into
providing
ice
for
and
their
stuff. Those are
families.
specializations, and they're at risk every day. I mean, that's
Yeah.
almost, they should get hazardous duty pay.
Yeah.
Because they're going after.
Yeah, they're making a living for their
I mean-
families. They're not getting rich on
I
it.
mean, the
but
average police
they want to
officer
serve.
has a dangerous job.
Yeah.
Because every
Oh,
car you pull over and everything, you never know.
Yeah.
These guys do know.
They know it's a dangerous.
They know we're going after the guy that I'm pulling over is a criminal.
Yeah.
It's not.
When you were talking about the protesters, the same my neighbor border patrol guy, he said that it's on the horizon that they might be going to being deployed to Tucson area because there's people protesting the wall that they're going to be putting through a reservation
down in Tucson area.
Yeah, in the Tucson area.
Odom.
And I saw an article about it that there's like paintings on the side of a cliff, and even if they don't put the wall right there, the vibrations from the dynamite and the equipment and stuff could toss. Well, sometimes they do because some of the it's a mountain.
They'll have to protect it. Whatever they need to do, they'll protect it.
Well, that's what
that's
what the protest is about. They're like, oh, we can't destroy
the protest.
And I agree, we don't want to destroy that.
Everybody does,
but
the protesters are anti-ice. Yeah. Face it, they're just looking for a leverage.
Well, and that's what he said. That's what he said. They're paid.
Yeah,
I was like, because you can get the
find
idea
a wedge issue, man. Find a wedge issue.
Yeah, it's some conspiracy theorist is preaching. Oh, they're all paid. They're all paid. But no, he's in the trenches. He knows that he's arrested some of them before, and he said, they are. They're paid.
Yeah,
they're not even from here.
They're not Indian.
Yeah,
and look, that tribe down there has said no to the wall.
Yeah. Well, Sisquamani worked with a Democrat. I don't remember who. To get money for their version of the border patrol, because they have their own like the
tribal stuff
or something like that. And and when I was talking to somebody about it, I was like, or they could just let border patrol in, but they don't let the border patrol in, and then
they have no choice now.
Themselves.
They have no choice, and there is a law on the books that says 60 foot from the border, even on a reservation, is the responsibility of the United States government, and it's like an easement.
Right.
And they finally just pulled that card out and said, we're coming.
Yeah.
And that's the rub. They played nice for way too long. And I guess there was a lot of known traffic coming through there.
Yeah. And that's and my source says,
they had to put
the numbers are going now.
Well, particularly since the wall's up everywhere else and everything's funneled.
Right.
And I from what I understand, a lot of that community were very welcoming and helpful in helping the illegal traffic.
I haven't heard that part, but if you close up everything else, then people are going to go through what's not.
Yeah,
closed.
and then they say, and I think there were reservations said you can't have vehicles. You come in, it's on horseback or something. I don't know. There's been crazy stuff. Tying the hands of the border patrol agents, and they just said enough. We got the 60 foot and we're taking it. and so for that 60 foot, they can put in double walls and roads.
And people are saying, oh, the walls aren't going to stop people. They'll go over.
Well, then good.
One, it's very difficult to go over a big wall like that. But no barrier ever completely stops people.
No.
And if when in the Marine Corps. Right. We'd talk about, setting Constantine wire and landmines and things like that. And it's not so much to stop people, but to give them a reason to go into an area that we can monitor easier than those areas over there. And that's what the wall does. If you're going to come in, you're going to try to find the easiest way in.
It's taken the numbers from over 1 million a year to zero.
Right.
Now, it's not just the wall.
It's not just the wall.
But the wall is a great tool.
Yeah,
because they're not going to just run over a 30-foot wall. I mean, it takes a lot of planning, and we'll be there waiting for them when they get down. But there's a lot more to it. And Trump and Biden stopped it all. Biden stopped the wall. He stopped the electronics. He stopped the lighting. He stopped the rules. Changed the rules to where if you come in, we're just going to process you.
And all of that is part of it. The wall, the cameras, the lights. the rules are all parts of the whole system to stop people from coming in, and they are working.
Biden did catch and release, and everybody knew he did catch and release.
Yeah. They I don't want to reveal my source. He's made it clear that, don't reveal who I am.
Yeah.
But,
I like Frank too. I don't want to do that.
But he said, under Biden, people, they would walk up to the agents and say, here I am, take me in. And
I have an appointment because I got an app here from Biden that says I'm in.
He didn't have to look for anybody. He would just sit out there in his truck. They'd walk up to him. And now they actively do go out looking for him. They see the tracks. They follow.
They have to save their
cameras.
lives now.
Yeah, they're going out.
There's more deaths because people are hiding.
Right. And the change when he talks about the shift from the Biden era to now, it's so dramatic. It's just night and day.
I've had agents tell me that sometimes they complain like, "What took you so long to pick me up?" And now they see a green uniform, they're running.
Right.
They don't want to get caught. But Trump is saying it's like net zero, like they're catching or sending back, and it's like net zero.
And a lot of them aren't even trying.
No,
it's not going to work.
See, and when the volume goes down to where it is right now, these guys can do their job.
Yeah, and they can catch the illegal drugs and the trafficking and all that much better, and because the people that
do a lot more intelligence work.
The typical illegal alien that just wants to get in the United States and work and make money, they're not risking it as much. So the ones that are risking it are the cartel runners that are bringing in the drugs and the trafficking and all that kind of stuff.
Criminals.
So they're much easier to find now.
Did you notice
and it's having an impact on the entire
Did you notice that 30-foot wall? They ended up putting Constantine wire on it.
Did they? People were going over the wall still.
Who was going to do that? Would you?
They bring in massive ladders.
Okay, you can get a 30-foot ladder.
Yeah.
And then take a rope down or something, or on the other side.
Yeah. That's what they do.
I mean, you could. And
they have video of guys falling off the rope on the other side.
Yeah. It could cause death to injury, injury to death.
There's
that's 30 foot, man.
Yeah. I don't want to keep going back to this guy, but he's helped get medical care for somebody that fell off
lots of broken bones, man.
They do it all the time.
Yeah. So
but
the
it
wires
takes them so long. Yeah. The agents are there as they hit the ground.
But the wire now, I'm sure, stops a lot of that too.
Well, it's not. It doesn't stop. It slows down.
Yeah, because you're going to have to cut it. You're not going to get over it. I mean, that stuff's big, and if it gets,
you put a blanket over it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
No, I'm not. 30 feet up and a constitutional wire. And, no. But that's the thing. It's one component of the whole thing. Yeah. People will go over if they're desperate enough.
Yeah,
but it slows them down enough that the agents are there waiting for them when they get down.
But you out of every 1,000, you probably deterred 999.
Yeah, most of them aren't even trying anymore.
So don't tell me it doesn't work. Yeah. Homeland Security, Mark Wayne McMullen, he says he's pivoted from a confrontational style of immigration enforcement of his predecessor, Kristi Noem. Now, Kristi Noem was always in the news,
right?
But I give Mark Wayne credit, but Kristi Noem was up against the agitators,
right?
And they didn't have the same force of arrest and stuff under Kristi Noem. And I think she probably mishandled some stuff too, including raids into Metro Surge Minneapolis. Because even Mark Wayne Mellon, he didn't back out of Minneapolis and the hot spots. No. I mean, they stayed there.
Right.
But they started getting cooperation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like, you loosened the jar for me.
This says Mullen pledged to fulfill the Trump administration's deportation goals while keeping the department out of the headlines, which is what Kristi tried to be in the headlines.
I don't know if she tried.
Oh, yeah. She put her own Facebook stuff out. She put her own post out and stuff. And she did. What we're seeing, and maybe she thought that was right to get the publicity I don't know. What we're seeing is an expansion in all the different ways the ICE is detaining people. They're arresting people at airports, at ICE check-ins, and immigration courthouses, and this is a result of that. And there's been a lot of people complaining about, well, a courthouse should be free and clear for criminals. No. What do you mean?
But,
You know that judge that remember let somebody out a back door or something?
right.
Because
Yeah.
she
She
ended
got
up
arrested.
in serious trouble.
Yeah.
You know, she's crying now in court.
Hmm.
You know, she didn't think they would prosecute her. No, they did. More than half of the 50,000 arrests came from states of Texas, Florida, and California, Georgia. All but California participated in the program, which allows state law enforcement officers to perform certain parts of federal immigration law. California says no. They're still there, though.
Right. Well,
It's
California
target
needs their
rich.
voters.
So 50,000, it's like 600,000 a year at that pace, but they were coming in at 2 million a year.
Yeah.
But because of this, there's a lot of self-deporting.
Yeah. And
It's
I
not
think,
just these. And Trump has been pretty clear about it. Like, look, if you want to self-deport, we'll pay you a little money. We'll help
Yeah.
you get over there.
I think
And you can
that's-
come back. You can apply for
Yeah.
immigration. You can do all that. But if we catch you, you're gone
You're done.
forever. You
Yeah.
can never come back. Ever.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing he ever did.
But there's
Was
still 50,000. I don't
create
think.
that
Yeah.
that avenue out
Yeah.
where you can be treated, honorably and
But
respectfully. And
what he did is so beautiful because he took that web that app that Biden created for the phone
for people coming in,
and reversed it and said we're going to use the same app for you getting out.
Yep. And it's such a great deal. We'll pay you. Well, your
yeah.
travel expenses.
Yeah.
It's still cheaper than what we're going to be paying to find you. And we'll still have to pay those travel expenses anyway when we put you on the plane and send you out anyway. So we'll help you get out, and we'll let you come back in legally if you ever choose to do so. It's a great program, and I'm so glad that people are using. Do we have any numbers on how many people used that?
No.
That would be great to know.
I'm sure we can get that.
Yeah.
What they don't have numbers on at all, they can't get, is how many people just leave, which is frustrating to them. And they'd like to know that because they've got a list. I mean, the list, when they first started was like 1.5 million or something of people that they knew were in the country criminally, that were criminals on top of it or wanted for crimes.
Right.
So if you're only doing 600,000 a year, that's 3 years, to get all those out. But if one of those guys leaves, they'd like to know they could scratch him off, rather than go looking for him.
Right.
And I don't know all the tools they use to go look and find, but I'm sure it's not going to be the obvious.
And we don't want to know
No.
because we want them to be
I'd blab it.
effective.
Yeah. I'd talk about it. Coast Guard. And I just read the Coast Guard seized 7,000 pounds of cocaine, and I'm thinking, like, wow, that's a new program. I thought we just blew them out of the water. What do you mean seized? Well, it was right off the coast of Puerto Rico, United States territory. So it wasn't the road, the route that's normally taken by the smugglers. It was just off the coast of Puerto Rico. 7,000 pounds. Does it say what the drugs was? But anyway, the U.S. Coast Guard gunner Richard Dixon, not Nixon, Dixon, they intercepted it on August 22nd with the help of Customs Border Protection Air Marine operations. 5 people on the alleged smuggling boat were detained, and then the Coast Guard destroyed the boat.
I was just thinking.
It posted a hazard
Yep.
to navigation. Now, how is that a hazard to navigation?
I literally just met somebody that was Coast Guard, and he was telling me that that's what they would do because they didn't have, they only had so many people on the boat, and now they're having to deal with these detainees.
Yeah.
So they didn't have anyone to drive the boat in.
So they just shoot them. They sink it.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
put explosives on it and then shoot it. And
Mr. Gilbert.
Hey, Russ.
Yeah.
Little League news.
Yes, sir.
Ohio versus Nevada for the American championship Saturday.
Oh, and
We
this,
have what?
really? They beat all the foreign countries?
No. That's just for the states.
Oh, okay.
U.S. And Latin America versus Japan Saturday, and the winners of those two will go to the championship.
Okay.
But we lost our girl, Alabama, a sweetheart.
Oh no.
Girl, yeah. They lost yesterday. They lost bad, 11-2. But they wore out their bats. That's all I can say.
It happens.
It happened. But she's still phenomenal. she's still phenomenal. But anyway, I thought I'd just call you up for people to get ready for Saturday for the championships, and then then I think Sunday or Monday they play for the World Series.
It's a big deal
And,
to you, man. I know every year you're glued to that set, buddy. That's good.
Yeah, I am. Did you hear about Nepal and that glacier falling down?
Yeah.
Oh, Charles, the video is sickening. It's sickening. I hope the world gets together and goes up there and help them people. They need it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
back
buddy.
to the set.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that Nepal thing was pretty devastating.
Yeah, Gilbert's a big little league,
fan.
Up to 12 years old.
Yep.
That's it.
And I love the organization. I'm not a big baseball fan.
No.
I don't like much, sports much anyway. But I like to play sports more than I like to watch sports.
But somebody,
they're giving these kids an opportunity to play before all the politics and all the money destroys
and girls do play with the boys
Yeah.
at 12.
Yeah,
which is fine at 12.
Well, it's fine at any age. If a girl can keep, hold her own in a sport with guys, great. But a man should not be going in the other direction. That's the thing. 70,000 immigrants have self-deported using the government's incentive.
That's
program.
it.
I would expect a higher number.
They catch more in a month almost. Yeah. Well, they probably don't trust it. I've heard more than 1 million have left, but they don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have a listener that's giving me a lot of notes here. I kind of like reading his stuff. Sometimes I don't agree with it. Is there anything where Trump has not delivered? Seems the answer depends on if you're a Dem or GOP or MAGA. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, he has not ended the Iran war yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
and
he's working on it.
But it is his direction. He's as frustrated as anybody. I got a list of all his accomplishments the other day, and I don't have it with me, but it's amazing list.
And there's so many things that you just don't hear about. It doesn't get in the news. He does it quietly behind the scenes,
and what he calls accomplishments, Democrats may call negatives.
Right.
Like he ended DEI, and the Dems negatives are, well, he did a terrible thing of ending DEI. Whatever. It's solid differences.
Well, the transgender Title IX issue. Yeah. That's an accomplishment.
They would count that as a difference. So he's right on that. Whether you're a Democrat or GOP. Yeah. But I know so many Democrats are happy it happened, but they would never open their mouth about it.
Right.
They don't believe it's fair to have transgender men and plain women, but they'll never say a word because they're going to stay true to and loyal to their party.
Well, they'll be attacked in their party too. So
yeah, look at
preservation there.
Yeah, Fetterman gets attacked.
Oh yeah, all the time. Love that guy.
He says Gilbert seems more
Gilbert
seems more adversarial than in the past. Maybe Clyde and Angry Mike and Gilbert are collaborating. That's possible. I don't think so. CIA chief made a Moscow trip. You know that?
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah,
it went right to Russia.
Yeah.
And
it was on the news
we don't know a lot about it. I was hoping to get
CIA. We're not supposed to know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, usually something like that. Well, we know he landed there, and it was John Radcliffe that got off. It was a secret, but it was on YouTube. Well,
that's how you know it was really.
There were people in Moscow that videotaped it, motorcade going through to Moscow. So he had a meeting, and then I know people called the Kremlin and stuff, or said, "Well, why is Radcliffe there? We don't know he's in town. We don't know." Well, of course no.
Right.
Yeah, you guys don't know anything. Yeah, they do. They warned Russia against attacking NATO, is what it was. That's what they're saying. But according to multiple media reports, they're saying that anyway. Worried about the escalation of Ukraine war now. Putin has made saber rattling. He's going to attack Poland. He's going to do all this other stuff.
He's been doing that for 50
but
years.
Like you don't have enough things falling apart right now.
You're already losing one war about from a small.
You've lost almost every wild berry.
Yeah.
That's the Amazon of Russia, the warehouses.
Oh, is it?
Ukraine has been burning them all down.
That'll get them.
They got rid of Amazon. Well,
Even the
What-
communist country still needs to buy stuff.
what they found out was Wildberry, which is their Amazon, was handling logistics for the military.
Really?
Yeah, so they
Makes them
were
a military target.
doing uniforms and military hardware and all kinds of scopes for rifles, all kinds of stuff like that. They say, yeah, give me 50 scopes, and they just show up on a Amazon box.
I just got an image in my head of a battlefront. Boom, boom, boom,
I don't know if they go to the battlefront, but yeah,
Amazon shows up with the box.
But they're Wildberries. It's an Amazon type business, and they're massive. These massive, huge warehouses. They have been burning them down, sometimes 2 a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's affecting
Everything.
the population right now. I mean, people are like losing businesses because a lot of people's business is having a business in Amazon where they handle 1 product or 2 products or something like that. So they have inventory,
Right.
and all, and they lose it. They lose it all.
Yeah.
And so it's been putting people out of work. It's causing image problems for Putin. So,
well, he's going to lie about it. People aren't going to know, what's going on.
wait, according to
going to get around behind the scenes.
According to the news, he's winning everything.
Right.
And even the drones that they shoot down accidentally hits a target, but it accidentally is hitting all the Wildberries.
Right.
And Ukraine is making like 1,000 drones a day.
Yeah.
And when I say drones, I don't mean the small, little ones. I mean the ones that are going to go 1,000 miles and blow up or start a fire in a Wildberry.
Right.
They don't have big charges, but they have enough, and they're strategic enough to hit. I don't know if they hit the automotive paint stuff. I don't know what they do, but they seem to be hitting.
If you can get the materials inside.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're getting the materials in. But how do they know where the flammable stuff is?
Just start with the boxes that everything's in.
Maybe they have a store layout, like automotive is over here, so that's where they go. I don't know.
But word has to be spreading through Russ. The truth. He's going to be putting the lies out on his media, but the truth has to be getting around, and
the amount of
people will eventually.
The amount of soldiers dead and injured are crazy. Yeah. A lot of them, though, get picked up in the places far away from Moscow. Apparently, the chance of getting picked up to go to war in Moscow, very rare. They protect that.
Right.
But you live way out in Siberia somewhere in some unknown Eskimo place, you're going to war. A greater chance, I guess they take high with it. So I'd be curious what the whole Ratcliffe thing's all about. But they say it was to stop them from escalating.
Well, that was the whole thing from the beginning. That Putin was like, "If you help out, we're going to attack NATO." Well, how long ago? That was like 4 years ago.
Well, he does the.
He hasn't done anything.
He does the nuclear threat quite often. Well, we're going to just send a nuclear bomb. We're going to do a nuclear bomb, and people just don't ignore it now.
Yeah. Well, they have a history of pretending they have missiles that they don't. So we don't even know if you're real, and we know where all your nukes are. We'll take them out ourselves. It's just we I have no confidence that they're a real threat, none at all. So saber rattle. I'm done with him.
Let's see, net rating. Polls in mid-2026 placed Trump more than 50 points underwater among independents. Disapproval heavily outpacing. One of them just sent me some of his AI overview. And it depends on the question and when it's done. I mean, right now there's people that are like want to get a message to Trump.
And they don't necessarily need to approve of Trump. They just need to approve of the direction that we're going.
Maybe. It's dangerous, though. It's a dangerous game. Read that WNBA players as a whole literally hate Caitlin Clark. Oh, that's true. Maybe they see her as a modern-day great white hope. I hope as a nation we someday go by ability and hard work. And she is like one of the harder workers, nicest people. Like all through her college career, she just little girls just rally to her because she takes the time to sign autographs and set a good example and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of divas in this that don't have time for that kind of stuff. And she does. And she's just a polite lady. And she never badmouths really anybody or anything. Even when she's been abused. And I mean, she'll talk about, that while she's on the court, she'll be screaming at the refs and stuff like, "Are you blind? What's going on there?" But in the meetings and all, she'll hint that she didn't think someone was fair or something. But she's not an aggressive, this player that or whatever. No, where a lot of them are. I mean, it's like it's like crazy drama.
Well, if you're not getting the attention, you got to
Wow.
do something to get the
Well, she gets all the attention because she's not like that.
All right. Well, and she's got skills to back it up.
She's got
Apparently.
great skills,
Yeah.
but there's stronger players in there. There's players that are faster. She's just, with her eyes closed, passes it to somebody, and
She's got an awareness on the court.
and she'll throw a 3-pointer from the logo regularly, but she's just got some mad vision and basketball skills. She sees where the defense is and she knows exactly where to go if she's given time and all that. But her own players, the players on her team were getting jealous, so they stopped passing to her. And I guess the coach even was like, you're getting too much attention because she's breaking so many records.
Huh.
Like she's had the most points of any game of a WNBA player ever, and it's been going on for decades. And she's already beat all that. She's beating records like crazy. So everyone's trying to slow her down, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Even her own team.
Yeah. That's one of the problems I have with sports records is it's not just that person.
No.
Like the home run records. If you're getting a lot of home runs, then pitchers that want to win stop pitching you pitches that you can get a home run off of.
Yeah.
And so
So it's hard to get it.
It's hard to get it. And the ones that actually get the record, how much of that was the choices of the pitchers, compared to the skill of, because there was that one year where there's like 3 guys in the running for it. It was McGuire, Sosa, and some other dude, I think, that were all in the running for the record that year. And I think McGuire is the one that pulled it off. But the pitchers
He's
make
doing
different decisions
steroids too, though. But
But pitchers making different decisions would have affected that.
But on the
record.
on the basketball team for Caitlin, because she's so good at passing and stuff. See, she's breaking records for assists because she helps everybody. She's throwing the
And
ball.
she has control over that.
Yes, she does, and she's been assisting everybody. She's
That's a good record.
because they double and triple team her, so she can real quickly give it to Kelsey, who's a great shooter. She's been in the league for many years, like 8 years or 9 years or something, and she's outperformed this year more than she ever has. Because Caitlin's getting double teamed, not her, and she passes it to her. But then all of a sudden, she wants to be MVP because, like, look at how much I've been making, but you're doing it because you're getting all these assists, young lady. You're not the vision player that Caitlin is, and the same with the center, Boston.
You watched this,
huh?
You watched this game.
I do.
Okay,
I do. I watch it, and I don't know basketball that well. I'm learning it, but Boston. Great numbers. I mean, she'd been in the league for 2 or 3 years before Caitlin got there as a first-round draft pick. And with Caitlin there, her numbers improved greatly because they could pass her the ball in the middle and do a lot of backup and all that. But now Boston doesn't. I mean, it's like she wants to play point guard. She keeps coming out of the center and out and wanting to make threes and not passing it back to Caitlin and stuff, which is really hurting the team. But she thinks, I'm better now, so I can be Caitlin.
Yeah, and the way you're talking is reminding me of the heyday of the Lakers with Jordan and his team there. And I don't remember all the different players on that team, and I didn't follow the game. I just heard what people were talking about. But they seemed to be much more team oriented, where they were using him and his skills, and he was getting the ball to the people in the positions at the time.
And
that's what made them great.
But these, and it is like that at times with the Fever. But I think there were about 3 games in a row where they were trying to pump up everybody but Caitlin. Like Caitlin was on track to get the MVP for the whole league. It's like they wanted to stop it for some reason because she's only in her 3rd year and they got people that have been here 8 or 9 years or seasoned, and they deserve it more. I mean, it's really it's a catty organization. It's just crazy.
Would it be misogynistic to say, well, they're women?
Yes, it would be very misogynistic.
Well, then I won't say that.
Don't say it. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
I didn't say that. I just asked a question.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Carolyn Levitt is getting ready to leave now.
Yeah.
She's 29. Do you realize that? She seems so much more
about
seasoned, though. Man. Well,
she's really accomplished already in her life.
The people that are still in the running for this thing are let me see, Anna Kelly. Anna Kelly is the deputy secretary, press secretary. But something interesting about it, I don't really know who she is.
I don't either.
But she's been the right hand of Caroline all along. And when Caroline was out for maternity leave, she filled in for her on doing everything except for being on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She never led the news conferences.
I was going to say, I didn't remember.
No, wait, she wasn't?
I never heard her.
In fact, leading the news conferences was Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Scott Bassett.
I remember that.
Mehmet Oz, Mehmet Oz. And they all ran it. She never stepped in, which is odd because she's the deputy. You think the deputy would want to get up there and grab the mic and say, next question.
No, I don't want to be on camera.
But that's her job. She's the deputy. But
the deputy does as the
so there she's a long shot.
Director,
maybe. This Alina Haba was in the running. She was the lawyer, and she just said, "Oh heck no, I'm not doing it."
Well, that's what we were saying about Karen Levitt, especially at her age, to take on a position like that where people are just targeting you, all the time. That's I'm sure there's a lot of people who are like, nope, I don't want to do that.
Alina Haba doesn't care. I mean, she's a senior advisor to Attorney General, and she was the number one. She was a lawyer for Trump and fought for him and battled in court and all that stuff. Oh, she gets on camera all the time. Like after she comes out of the courtroom and stuff. Right. She's awesome. She says, nope, not looking for a job. She just put it out there on X. So Stephen Miller and his wife, Katie Miller, have been floated on social media, not anywhere else, just social media. He just apparently when Stephen Miller's asked, he just looks and smiles, doesn't say a word.
So you leading up to it.
Scott Jennings is a front runner. Mm-hmm. He met with Susie Wiles, the Trump's chief of staff, before Levitt had made the announcement.
Okay.
And John and I've watched Jennings on the CNN a little coy when he's asked about it. He doesn't rule it in, doesn't rule it out. And
people have said, well, he'd probably have to take a pay cut and this, that, and the other. But I think that would be worth it to be a press secretary. I mean, there's only so many press secretaries. That's kind of a big deal.
I think it comes down to Jennings and Anna Kelly. I think those are the two that are really out there still. But Anna Kelly wouldn't even get on the mic.
She
I don't know.
Seem to want to do that.
But they haven't taken her out.
It's interesting.
She's never taken the podium for a briefing ever.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because you always have the assistant take it occasionally for some reason. Somebody's out of town or sick or maternity leave. No, nothing.
And Scott Jennings is coming to Yuma.
Well, that was my lead up. Yeah. Absolutely. You got a chance to meet him, talk to him, say hello to him, get your picture taken, buy his book. And what's his book? And
Tanya said he has confirmed that he will be coming.
Tanya's been in touch with his staff and said that, and he says, don't worry about it, because he's got like a few stops in Arizona that he's booked for these things, and that's all going to happen. Now, this article was the first time I read that Trump may not. At first, I read that he might. I think it was insinuated that there would be somebody picked before Levitt left. I thought, it's going to pick this week or something. Maybe I read that wrong, because now they're saying he just might go like it was during the maternity leave and let some people rotate and let Anna Kelly continue to face the office part of it.
Okay.
Which apparently she did that completely when Levitt was out for maternity. Anna kept everything running. She just didn't go to the podium, and you got Rubio. Rubio has nothing to do. He's only got 60 jobs. Put Rubio up there, man. Sean, you remember Sean Spicer? He was
Yeah.
former
I
Trump.
was thinking of him as we were talking about this.
Yeah. He talks about
That
it.
guy
He
was
says,
awesome.
yeah, he
I
was.
love that.
He says there are two critical aspects of the job. The public facing one that includes the briefing where the press secretary is in the public face of the president's policies and priorities. The next press secretary will undoubtedly be someone who has a strong existing relationship with the president. I don't know how strong Jennings is. Well, hey, it is strong. I think they've.
I don't know.
And he said
I've just started hearing about him for the
Yeah.
September 7 event, and now this. So
he values and understands the importance of the role of in communications, his position on policy, personnel, and key issues. So I can't imagine it not being someone currently in his orbit. He served as Trump, but he says he's not seeking it now. He's not, don't do that. Dana Perino talks about it a little bit. She says many of the top White House reporters head out to the campaign trail, and nearly every question starts to be viewed through a political lens. For a press secretary, the challenge is managing the day-to-day work of governing while staying out on the campaign itself. Though with President Trump, he may very well want to remain deeply involved. I didn't really think of the press secretary going out on the campaign trail.
do they
Well, that's what
You
Perino
mean
says they do. You know.
without the president?
No, with the president.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine.
I would expect that they would follow him in case they need to.
I'd let
make
him.
a
I'd stay
statement
back
about
in the White House and just do conferences. You know, that's why I don't get the job.
I'm sure it depends on the president too. Maybe he wants them with them. Or,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all his call. Levitt is 19 months in the role. Sarah Huckabee in his first term was 23 months. That was the longest one. I think working for Donald Trump would wear you out. I don't think that guy sleeps.
Well, he tweets at
On
every hour of the
24/7?
day. Yeah.
He's going to be up doing something, and he doesn't do one thing. He's got a million things going on. So he needs lots of staff.
Yep.
Lots of type A personalities working like Rubio.
Yeah.
just do 50 jobs, Rubio.
And do them all well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does. Let me see. Let's see. USA report finds more than 100. Wow. A USA report finds more than 100 UNRWAs. What's a United Nation employees? United Nation employees
Okay.
participated in Hamas atrocities on October 7th.
How many?
100.
Wow.
What? How is that possible? Oh, she writes. Thanks to the leadership of President Trump and Secretary Kennedy, hundreds of beagles have been freed from facilities that supply dogs for animal testing. I guess that's important to
big
somebody.
news. Yeah, somebody cares. Yeah.
Yeah, they do torture those things.
They breed the dogs for that purpose. So
Then it's okay.
some people say it makes a difference. But I knew somebody that they were okay with people eating cattle because that's what they were bred for, but they didn't want people going out hunting.
Well, they don't torture the cows before they kill it.
Right. But they were. I had always expected people to be one or the other. Either you don't want to be killing the animals, or you're okay with.
Oh no,
but they're like, no, you can kill the ones that are bred for that, but don't go out killing the ones in nature. I was like,
well, beagles are bred for that. If they use beagles, but sometimes it's for cosmetics and stuff, and they put stuff in their eyes to see if it blinds you.
Right.
They'd rather find out on a beagle than on Susie down the street.
Well, we could just kill the cosmetic industry, but that's
I would be happy to spend a little less money on it. I don't remember the last time I bought cosmetics.
I always say makeup is the first lie a woman tells you.
I'm okay with it, buddy. I'm good. I'm not. You get yourself in trouble all you want. I have no part in what you're talking about.
Oh, you didn't read the disclaimer. You're going to be held accountable for this now.
All content presented in the Russ Clark Show, including statements made by guest commentators and callers, reflect the personal opinions of those individuals and provide for informational and entertainment purposes only. These views do not represent the official position of Mortgage One Studios, its owners, employees, affiliates, or partners. Mortgage One Studios does not endorse, verify, guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements made by third parties during programming.
Or mine.
You were included.
All right, you're covered now.
How about that? Got it in under the wire, man. City of Yuma is looking for some community input on the aquatics feasibility study.
What does that mean?
Well, Parks and Recreation, they have pools and all that, which are mostly closed down. About the future aquatic needs to help long-term planning for facilities, programs, and all that kind of stuff. A couple things going on. Kennedy Pool has been closed for what, 5-6 years?
Has it been that long?
I think so. It's been a long time. It might be 4.
That'd be
at
that'd
least
been
4.
the COVID year.
Yeah, it was closed.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
a plumbing problem or something. They say it's going to cost $10 million to fix.
Right.
I don't know. I question it, but
Now, I know how much it costs for my pool, so I'm not surprised if it.
so there's always a big push. Let's open it, and then they wanted to tear it down, and then they didn't, and it just sits there.
Right.
It's like a sore thumb, and I think it sits there because doing anything is going to cost somebody mad.
Yeah.
Fixing it will cause somebody to be mad. Tearing it down will cause people to be mad.
Yeah.
So they don't do anything,
Yeah.
and then people just like.
Well, then people are mad because it's just sitting there.
Well, that way they can tear it down later because we haven't used it in 10 years. So whatever. That's what I'm thinking. I may be right. But there's a survey out there where they want to study and evaluate, like, where do we need pools? Do we need pools, programs, services, future investments? So I think it's important if you care about the city.
Right.
You care about Parks and Recreation. You go to Yuma AZ. That's YUMAAZ.gov/make-a-splash. And there's an online engagement page. So you can answer some questions on what you think about the city's direction on that kind of stuff. Now, we just have Henry was just elected. Now, Henry ran with signs, keep Kennedy Pool open,
Okay,
That's
so
I promised to keep.
we know where he's on.
I think I know. I think I know. And, and I talked to Greg Wilkinson a lot about Kennedy Pool because I was kind of like, well, why are you keeping that thing closed? Just fix the plumbing, get it open, And he said, even when it was open, it was like nobody, it was very few
Wasn't
people.
being used.
No, very few. And they really limited the hours. And I think they limit the hours because not that many people swim in that much. And then it's expensive to keep it open.
Well,
and
I wonder, compared to some, because the Yuma has a few pools in town, and they aren't as big as Kennedy.
Yeah.
I wonder if the smaller, more local
Carver Pool,
neighborhood
Marcus Pool, the Carver
pools are
Pool, and the
big
Kennedy Pool.
pools.
Kennedy Pool is the one's closed. And I think they've closed the Marcus at times. It's not open that often. Then the Valley Aquatic Center, that's the newest one. Along with the city splash pads. That's where they just put a piece of concrete down and get it wet. They say splash.
Yeah, because Kennedy
Run in circles.
It's in a residential area, but you got to walk to it. It's a ways to go. Whereas a lot of the other community pools have people living like real close to it. And
Well, there's a lot of people that live right on the Kennedy Pool, but I don't know. A lot of
for a pool that size,
yeah.
for
Well,
people to walk to it.
They're right there near 24th Street. Across 24th Street, it's all residential.
Yeah.
So within a half mile to a mile, you got tons of residential. But you're right, it's not 2 blocks.
Right. I remember when I was a kid, we would walk a mile
Yeah.
to go to the pool.
Yeah,
And
but
we'd
see,
be
that
there
was
all
when
day.
people were tough.
Well, people didn't have cell phones.
But you should get on there and get on that online.
Yeah, make your voice
Because
heard.
everyone's got opinions about aquatics. Put them in writing, put them down there, what you feel, what you think. I was swimming last night with my grandson. They've got a pool in their backyard, which is very convenient.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's not my backyard. That's more convenient.
Yeah.
I just go over and see the grandkids, with Grayson and Caitlin last night swimming for an hour or so. Man, I wore them out. I think they slept well. So,
But people, people should definitely be heard on this. But on other things too, you can go to the websites and talk about other issues that you have, especially for Parks and Rec, because you just cannot have too many things for the kids in the community to do. You know, we got soccer, we got skate parks, we got pools, we got fields. You know.
Skate park was just redone.
Yeah.
And then they found out there were some flaws in concrete. They had to tear it up and redo it again. It was under warranty.
Yeah.
You know, that's okay.
You know, make your voice heard, because Parks and Rec is a great organization. I know people in it because I used to be part of the soccer board, and they're doing everything they can to provide for the community and give these kids something to do. So let them know if you have an idea and it's feasible, they're going to do it. They're going to jump on it and do what they can for the community. So,
the Arizona Farm Bureau Federation, big deal, particularly in Yuma.
Yeah,
but it's a state thing. They endorsed Andy Biggs for governor and state senator Sina Kerr.
It's a wise thing to do.
Oh yeah, but they probably made Hobbs mad.
Good.
She said, so I wonder what she's going to veto now.
Did you hear that her Democrat attorney general is not going to charge her?
I don't doubt it, but she doesn't have to. You know why?
Why is that?
Because the president of the Senate can.
He's going to, yeah.
I never knew that until recently.
Well, yeah, we didn't have to until we got an attorney general that didn't do anything.
Right.
Yeah, Warren Peterson, he's been doing
Like
her job for the last several years.
He's been doing the attorney general job,
yeah.
And now he's running for attorney general.
It makes sense. He's got got more experience as attorney general than
he even had to take one of the cases to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I'm really excited about him. Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the air with me Wednesday, the 8th September. I mean Tuesday, September 8th. Obviously, September 7th, he's going to be in town.
I was just going to ask
with Jennings.
Yeah.
So Jennings going to be here, and so is Warren.
Oh, there's a whole list.
Well, so's Andy Biggs, and so's Sina Kerr.
Yeah.
So if you haven't got a ticket to that dinner, get it quick, and you go to.
Well, Tanya said that they're going to be closing
on Friday.
Tickets on Monday.
Okay.
Sooner if we sell out.
Yeah. Which could happen.
But the venue wants the final numbers on Monday.
I mean, we're talking about the potential press secretary for Donald Trump,
right,
coming to town, along with the next governor, hopefully the next lieutenant governor,
attorney general,
and the treasurer.
Oh my goodness,
Secretary of State. All of them could be right there,
and me.
You got that going on.
I won't be speaking though. So.
Yeah, no, and but Andy Biggs will be.
I hope so. Yeah. I want to hear from all these people.
They will be.
Yeah.
No, I've been going through I've been going through it. I've been reading what Tanya wrote. Because she's put the program together. It's pretty basic, but it's you're going to hear from them. You're going to hear from them, and she's very thorough and very dotting I's, crossing T's, making sure that every moment is accounted for.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. I'm more of a wing it guy.
That's why you're not in charge of it.
No, not really. I'm flexible though.
Yeah.
And
that's necessary. You need somebody that can put the plan together, and you need somebody that can adapt to when the plan goes bad. So
yeah. And I'll grab a guy and pull him off the mic in a minute. Keep it going. I just need the approval. I try not to make that decision independently.
Right.
Or I'd do it sooner.
You look around the crowd and they're all
and yes, I'll pull Scott Jennings off even.
I'd like to see that. That would get some attention on the news, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do it politely. Here's what I used to do when I was chairman of the Tea Party. We'd have a big event like at the Civic Center or something, and we'd have a bunch of politicians there. Which was what we really wanted to do, is expose a lot of those people, and I'd have a live band even at that time. We had a live band,
get them playing.
And I told the band, like, look, if I give you a signal, you start playing real soft. And then start turning up if I do this, if the guy doesn't get off.
Like the Oscars.
I guess. Is that what they do? Yeah, they do that too.
Play,
so I started doing that, and everybody got it. So I guess I gotta go. But there was one guy that I had to get the band to play louder than him, and he was mad. He didn't win anything. He looked at me like, I said, you got this much time. I don't know, 5-10 minutes or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Looked at me like, silly boy, I'll stay as long as I want. And he was a problem. I don't even remember his name, but
Yeah.
he says, "Well, you put me in the wrong place. You're trying to hurt me because you put that other person up ahead of me or something." I was like, pretty much alphabetical or something. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. He was a pain in the butt. But I had to play music. I had to get the band to play loud so they couldn't hear him.
That's fine. Yeah, Tuesday night when Josh was giving me the signal.
Yeah,
That's
great.
I don't know how long I was up there, but I was having a good time.
You were on time. You were fine. You were fine. It was just time.
Took a couple extra questions.
Yeah, you were pushing it then. I was like, Josh could have come up and grab. He's a big boy. Josh kicked you out of there.
Oh, I'm not fighting with Josh. No.
I could outrun him.
Yeah, I might be able to do that, but not for very far. But
teen arrested for allegedly stealing a vehicle. Now, if they see him in the vehicle and the vehicle's stolen, they still say allegedly, right?
Well, they have to. Yeah, I
guess so.
Everyone's innocent until proven guilty.
I heard about this one the other day. I just didn't know any details about it. But the Yuma Police Department has received a stolen vehicle report during the night. I guess this was Tuesday. And it happened in the area of West 2nd Street and South 9th Avenue around 7:20 a.m. That's not during the night. That's morning.
Right.
That's morning. At around 10 o'clock that day, YPD said the Kachan Police Department found the stolen vehicle and followed it to an apartment complex in Somerton.
Okay.
Now, Chris, if you steal a car,
don't go home.
You're going to be riding it all around. And...
Well, I thought, teenagers, took them for joyrides.
Good Lord.
Drive it like it's stolen. It is stolen. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Just don't drive it over to my house.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the vehicle, according to the police department, then crashed into a palm tree.
Okay.
Just by itself, I guess. in near Somerton Avenue somewhere with it, and identified the 16-year-old boy seen run into the complex. He must have seen that he was being followed, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was the lights that were on. I have no idea. It doesn't say they tried to pull him over, just said they followed him. And the Kachan Police Department set up a perimeter and active search for the suspect ensued. And good for them. Before noon that day, so a couple hours, the suspect was taken into custody. Yuma Police Department said a firearm, cash, other crime-related evidence was found after a search warrant was served. So they must have known where he was, and they got a search warrant. Yeah, teen was booked in the Yuma County Juvenile Center for several felony offenses.
Wow, this kid's an overachiever.
Yeah, he's being actively investigated. I wonder how he did in school.
Do you think he was in school?
You have to call the school and tell him he's going to be late today. He's not going to make it. Maybe he's getting a transfer.
Yeah.
He's being actively investigated for additional felony cases. So maybe he was a habitual. And I guess a guy like that has a lot of stuff. He's been doing it a while.
Yeah.
And getting away with it. So he thinks he's free. I mean, it's a career now.
I don't understand. If you're in a situation like that, why would you draw attention to yourself by doing something stupid?
He's going to get away with it. He just figures that he can get away with it.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, they said several felonies and investigating him now to be for additional. So maybe he's been a pain in the side of law enforcement and private property owners for a long time and needs to be off street.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I wonder how they're, is it going to be tried as an adult or as a...
Well, it doesn't say. He's in juvie right now. So, he didn't shoot anybody. But I don't know what the criteria. I don't know what the criteria is for that. But you take a guy's car and then run it into a tree.
Well, I've run my own car into a tree before, so
it looks like it has been. Yeah, you're definitely not driving one of those first date cars.
My son just got a new car. His first, we called it his first grown-up car. It's a nice car. It's not a junker.
So we call it
real money for
grown-up car.
Yeah, his first grown-up car, and he was, he took me along with him because he didn't know the system. How do you go about it? And that was really cool for me to be able to pass on some knowledge and wisdom about, because that's an important deal. That's a decision that affects you for years to come, and
it's expensive.
I was glad to be a part of that.
So he good sound mechanically.
Yeah.
Did you get it checked out?
Well, it was from one of the dealers that does the certified.
Okay.
Certified used cars.
A used car dealer or a new car dealer?
It's a new car dealer that has used cars,
and usually they don't handle anything too old,
right?
Either,
They go to the auctions, they buy the good stuff. And,
generally, they do.
Yeah. And then they check it out themselves.
Yeah.
And we've bought cars from this dealer for years.
Okay.
So we trust them.
There's some used car dealers out there that just handle used cars.
Yeah.
They're not reputable.
Right. You got to get them checked out.
And we do car repair,
mm-hmm.
and we've worked with some of those guys before that are used car dealers, and they will ask us to start cutting these corners just to keep it
right,
so it looks good.
Right. Get it off the lot.
We say, look, you're going to have to go somewhere else. We don't want to do that.
Right.
Because what happens is, let's say that we fix a car for a used car guy that, to his specification, not to ours, but to his, just keep it running or whatever. And then somebody buys a car and he goes back to the dealer and says, this is not working well. We'll take it back to Chris at Precision. He's the one that fixed it. Seriously, that's happened.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So they bring it back to us. And we're like, what? Wait,
Yeah,
we didn't do it. We didn't do all we wanted to do, what your problem is, is what we weren't allowed to do, But yeah, we couldn't say that because, well, we could, and we did. We stopped doing business with that.
And that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I knew a used car salesman, and he wouldn't, he'd tell me straight up, he says, no, I don't fix them up. If they run, they run. If they don't, they don't. I'm not giving you any warranty. He was upfront about it. He says,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And he'd say, some of them will tell you a story. Oh, it was just a little old lady.
Tell the truth.
And he'd say, I have no idea who drove this car. I don't know why they sold it. All I know is they didn't want it anymore.
Yeah.
and now I'm selling it to you.
Take it, leave it.
Yeah. Drive the car, see how it feels, check up your
priced
budget.
right.
Does it fix you? And buy it. He's like, I'm not putting up with any of that. He was a little grumpy.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I appreciated the straightforwardness. He's not trying.
Is that the guy out there by the airbase or something?
No, he was down like Fifth Avenue.
I mean, I like that more than a guy who's not telling me the truth.
I don't want dealers, some of these salesmen that will just follow me around and they're telling me all kinds of stuff. I didn't ask a question. If I have a question, I'll ask a question. I'm 56 years old. I know what I'm looking for in a car. I don't need you telling me what I'm looking for in a car.
Look,
and that, so if you're a dealer out there, don't follow me.
I've had a lot of people ask me, about, new used cars and stuff.
Right.
And I help them with what I can. And I said, but look, before you buy it, you just drive it right over to Precision there.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris will do a check for obvious,
right.
To make sure it's running right, the transmission shifting, the brakes are okay, and the front end's not falling off,
right.
That it's serviceable. We can do that real fast, and we don't charge for it. We just, not that many people do it.
No, I don't. I was just thinking that.
And a lady I worked with when I was at El Dorado, she came in and says, I want to buy this 4-door Audi. And I said, oh my gosh. Not that Audi's not a great car. I love Audis.
Right.
And if you have the money, get it. But the repairs on Audis,
oh yeah,
if something breaks, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, just getting the parts and stuff. It's crazy. So she bought it and didn't let me check it. And then afterwards she says there's something wrong with it. Get a look at it. I mean, the shocks on that car were like $3,000.
That's crazy.
It's
and I love that you said, bring it in, we'll check it out. Because that's good for your business. Because when eventually it will need service, and they're going to recognize. Remember,
and I want
he helped me out.
I want you to be happy with that. Yeah. Let's talk to Clyde. Good morning, Clyde.
Well, good morning. How are you today?
We're doing well, man.
But you know what? You got to think that used car dealer that helps keep people like you in business too. Because typically when they sell a car, they put a warranty on it. There's a lot of aboos out there that are selling you extended car warranty on a car that's got 120,000 miles and probably 10 years old, and they'll put a warranty on it for 90 days, because you can buy those warranty companies, extended warranty companies will sell a warranty for 90 days.
Yep.
On just the drivetrain and what have you not. So, it's a good selling point for the used car guy to say, yeah, I'll give you 90 days warranty on it. And when it does, the transmission goes out, and the customer that bought the car from the used car guy goes back and says, hey, my tranny went out. Well, take it to Russ Clark over there. He'll fix it for you. Because the guy that sold the car is not in the repair business. He's in the business of selling used cars.
You're
So
exactly.
then, you got to deal with it. You deal with the customer, and then you deal with the warranty company. And hopefully, like I always tell people, if you buy a car and it's got 120,000 miles and they gave you an extended warranty on it, and you take it in and the warranty company declines it because you don't have service records, well, you bought this car used. They know when they sold you the warranty that it was a used car.
Sure.
Maybe it's an Altima or a Sentra that we know that at 80 to 100,000 miles, the train is going to take a dump anyways, and they still sell you that. So as much as there's sleazy used car dealers out there, buyer beware, because there's also a lot of sleazy extended warranty companies out there.
Oh, there are.
Yep.
And not all used car dealers are sleazy. They're
No,
not. I mean, there's some.
No, and not all warranty companies are
No.
sleazy, and not all repair facilities are sleazy
No,
either.
but you got to be careful with all the above. You're
Yep.
exactly right. And there's some really good warranty companies. I mean, Chris recommends some of them.
There are. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll put it out there. I mean, I do inspections for probably 80 of those. There's 119 different used car warranty companies
Really?
that come under 11 big corporate umbrellas, if you will.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
a subsidiary of or whatever. So, and I represent probably 78% of those warranty companies, and so I get to see a lot of what happens out there from all aspects, and of course they always want the inspector to determine is this a something that's been going on for 10,000 miles or 20,000 miles, and
Sure.
so how do you tell? I mean, you can look underneath the chassis, and if it's all full of oil, you can tell a chassis that's been cleaned recently, and you can tell a chassis that hasn't been cleaned recently, and it's fairly clean underneath. And then they just don't make parts like they used to anymore either. I mean, we had this talk yesterday about tariffs and all that. About everything comes from China. All right, well, not everything, but the vast majority of it comes from China.
You remember during I think it
Go
was
ahead.
during COVID, a lot of parts problems for dealers. I mean, new car parts couldn't get them, and Ford, I know, was one of them that were getting them from offshore. Other parts, like steering parts and all that kind of stuff, they started failing like crazy. And of course, they're covered by warranty, but what a hassle! It was a hassle because they couldn't get the parts they wanted, and they were getting junk. Yeah.
At the quality, because I mean, aftermarket, there's good aftermarket and there's bad aftermarket.
Oh yeah,
Or a lower quality aftermarket and a higher quality aftermarket, if you will. I can tell you there was a time back in 1985 that for a Ford Crown Victoria, you'd go to a wrecking yard and you'd buy a rotor for it, front disc brake rotor, and you'd spend $35 back in 1984 for a used rotor that still had enough meat that you could go and probably cut it turn it one or two times.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you buy a rotor at brand new at one of these aftermarket auto parts places, and you spend probably $28 today in 2026, and you put it on there, and don't put your foot on the brake pedal too hard because you'll warp the rotor. I mean, the quality of the steel is not what it was, and they're not made to be turned again, pretty much.
Oh no, nobody.
They go out and
I don't know anybody.
They're out of spec.
I don't know anybody turns them anymore because they're cheaper to buy them than it is to put the labor into resurfacing.
Yeah. And the time waste too. You can order everything, come in, or you take the old one off, put the new one on, and new pads, and away you go. It's just like you said, lower labor. So things have changed throughout the years.
Yeah.
Every industry has its changes, but yeah, there's sleaziness in every aspect of everything we do in our daily lives.
Yeah.
From going to the bank, from banks to auto repair, auto insurance, regular insurance. One of the biggest ripoffs on auto insurance is the perception that because the state still loves to sell you uninsured and underinsured motorist insurance, and people think, hey, okay, I'm getting that, so that guy doesn't have enough insurance, it's going to cover my car. No, uninsured and underinsured only covers damage to your physical body, not to your automobile.
Right. Wait, you have to buy collision.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Yeah, we had that discussion on your show several years ago, and I think Howard's the one that. But anyways, that's all.
Thank you.
Thought I'd chime in on that. But have a good day. Enjoy
too,
the nice
sir.
weather. It's nice outside.
Be good, buddy.
Take care, bud.
Mr. Clyde. He does that. He shows up to my shop at times. He has to, because he does represent some of the insurance companies. And Chris is the one that has to be on the phone to the insurance company,
right,
and say, I've got a car, it's got a policy, here's the number, here's what's wrong with it, and all that stuff. And some companies are very easy to deal with, and they pay well. It's like, I understand, show me a picture, whatever. Or Clyde has to come by and check out some of it.
right.
If it's doesn't make sense or something, Clyde comes by. Chris is very used to that. And some pay well, and some never pay.
Really?
I mean, oh yeah, some are terrible. And then there's levels of insurance. You say you can get insurance on just the drivetrain.
Right.
Well, that's just the drivetrain. And that doesn't mean the car's covered.
Right.
Anything else. And so be careful on what you get. Just know. And sometimes the drivetrain's fine. You just want the engine transmission covered. But
those are the big expenses.
Yeah, but that doesn't always cover, like if it's got a manual clutch, it may not cover the clutch because that's a wearable.
Mm-hmm.
Like brakes aren't generally covered, or wearables unless there's a manufacturer's fault or something. Yeah, so it's got to be careful with some of that stuff and just know. So ask questions. And I like it. I like it when someone comes in and asks questions. Yeah. The lady that bought the Audi. We looked at it after she paid for it. She says, but I got 3 days to get my money back. We said, go get your money back. Mm-hmm. Look, it's going to be thousands of dollars just for the shocks on this car and all that. And they said, oh no, we're going to take it to Mexico and get it all done really cheap and all that. They never did. They lied to her, kept her out for the 3 days, and she ended up having to get rid of it. Let's say Mad Mike. Good morning, sir.
My ears have been burning at least the last half hour or so.
Oh, what, used cars? You used to do that a lot.
No, you going on about, the used car business and other things caught my attention. But you're talking now about insurance.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't mean warranty, like a vehicle extended warranty?
That's exactly what we're talking about. It's kind of like it's kind of like they would recognize it as extended warranty. It's really insurance, but you're right. We customers would look at it as a extended warranty type insurance.
I think it's opposite. It's really warranty, not
it's
extended warranty. It's printed on the brochure. It's printed
warranty
on the contract.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's basically an insurance for that kind of stuff.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. You can use,
but they call it no.
interchangeable.
You're right. It would cause confusion. Some people think it's for an accident. No, you can get a warranty or insurance. But when I think of warranty, I think a new car warranty, like the manufacturer warranties. But you can buy that
warranty on your washing machine.
Yeah, I didn't buy that either. I mean, I think my Whirlpool's 1 year, and then that's it.
I never get extended warranties.
Yeah.
Every time I'm checking out at Walmart and it's some electronic device and it pops up if I want the extended warranty, it's instant decline.
Yeah.
Because even if it was something that I would like to have warranty on, I'm not dealing with the Walmart, vendor.
Oh, really?
Version.
I thought they were pretty easy to deal with, but maybe not. I don't know. I've never done it.
I've never. Yeah, that's exactly. I've never done it. But I do know that most of the products in Walmart, manufactured products at least, come out of China. So I don't know what kind of quality they have in their warranty products. So
And they're trying to get you to do extended warranties on everything. I bought something; it wasn't even electronic, and you want an extended warranty? I said, what would be breaking on it? No, I don't want to. I was helping my daughter, get her first washer and dryer, and do you want the extended warranty? And she looked at me and I shook my head. She says, no. Well, then something broke.
Yeah.
Just right after.
But that's
and
under
so
regular
she tried
warranty.
to she tried to fix it herself, and it got worse. And I said, well, why didn't you just call, because there's a appliance repairman right down the street from us. So why didn't you just call him? Well, I didn't get the warranty.
Oh, yeah.
No, you didn't get the extended warranty.
Yeah, you
had a warranty.
Manufacturer's warranty.
Oh, I didn't know. The kids today just don't know
because we haven't trained them.
We don't teach
it's your
them.
job.
Yeah, I assumed she
failed.
knew there was.
See what you did?
Yeah. So
we used to have a good appliance guy in town, but from what I understand, he's out of business now. You remember Mendoza Appliance and Service? And
sounds familiar.
Well, the guy down the street from me is a great guy. You should call him.
I'm not currently looking, but I'll keep that in mind. I'm not sure where your street is to be down from, but we can hook up later if I ever call in if I ever need
Foothills Walmart near there.
Foothills Walmart.
Yeah, so it's right across the freeway from where I live.
Okay,
it's called Yuma Appliance. I'll give him out to anybody. Yuma Appliance. He does a great job.
Very good. So I had an interesting, speaking of Walmart, I had an interesting Walmart delivery this morning. I was just getting together, and I didn't like what Home Depot offered me at 5, so I went online a little bit before 6 to see what I could start getting from Walmart, and boom, it was over, I think, $47. And it was a shopping. I had to do a little shopping in the store. 2 customers. One customer only wanted a kind of like a plastic and cardboard dresser drawer or some type of thing. So that was easy. And the other one was a couple of groceries and items and a couple of big old bottles of hard liquor. And you don't see all of that when you're accepting it. You don't really have the time, because if they pop it out there, they're showing it to more than just the one person. That's the way Spark does their Walmart deliveries. And so I said, $45. Heck yeah. Even though I know it's going out over the hill, that's still 20, bucks each way. So, and 20 miles more or less. So it's still $1 a mile. That's in my hot, sweet spot. Got there, was delivering it, and the husband had just died overnight.
Oh no.
And they had people there visiting, and that's what this stuff was for. I felt bad, but I was at least accommodating enough to bring them their alcohol.
Yeah.
So
don't feel bad. They didn't want to have to go out and get it. Not in that moment. So you were helping
when you live out there. When you live out there on those dirt roads out in the middle of nowhere, you don't go get nothing if Walmart will deliver it.
Yeah. You're providing a good service for those people.
Yeah. And I did a one of the pizza places out there in Welton actually the other day, and it was not a lot of stuff, but it was stuff you can imagine. Pizza sauce. I'm surprised they don't make their own, but apparently not. And a couple other minor things, but it was a $20 tip, so I got paid by Walmart. Plus,
you get a $20 tip. I'm gonna start doing that, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, we need to talk about moving people, but you need to get another car.
Why?
We're low on drivers. There's only 3 of us.
Oh, really?
We're like the only taxi business in all of Yuma. There's one other one, these local jokels. But we need people to Uber and Lyft drivers to join us, and
there's no actual
trips.
Taxi company.
Mm-mm.
I used to drive a cab.
Very much.
I know there used to be.
There used to be like 3 or 4 of them.
Yep, and one of them I remember was Crazy 8s because they had the black cars, and it's an interesting name. I just saw a yellow taxi the other day getting off the freeway. And I rolled down my window when we were at the stoplight, and I asked him, "Hey, are you from here local?" He said, "Nah, I brought someone out all the way from Phoenix."
Wow, that was a good.
He was getting ready to get back on the freeway and head back back east.
Yeah.
So yeah, there may be some type of taxi, but there's definitely no big
Yeah, I've
one
seen the
anymore.
shuttle vans, taking people, from
Yeah,
from one town to another
on routes.
town.
Yeah, on routes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of cabs
Hey,
anymore.
I'm out of time, Mike. I got to run, buddy.
Already?
Get back to work.
I appreciate you giving me a couple of minutes to bend your ear.
See you,
Bye.
sir.
See
Bye-bye.
you later, bud.
With that, we're out of time. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, love
Chris. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll see Chris next week.
Next week.
Mortgage One Studio.